Chapter 246. Genius 1 second. Remember love divided by go divided by little? I will provide you with interesting novels to read. With this feeling in mind, Night Sorrow stopped running. Instead, he sat down cross-legged to study the cold chi, which was the mysterious jade spiritual energy that the lady in white had mentioned. Love go little say, Night Sorrow realized that he could not refine the mysterious jade spiritual energy. However, he could infuse the energy in his body into the mysterious jade spiritual energy and assimilate it. With this idea in mind, Night Sorrow used the energy of the myriad Tao treasured tome in his body to assimilate the domineering mysterious jade spiritual energy. As time passed, the mysterious jade spiritual energy started to overflow after being infused with energy by Night Sorrow. The overflowing energy was the energy in Night Sorrow's body. In other words, the energy of the myriad Tao treasured tome in Night Sorrow's body was filtered by the mysterious jade spiritual energy and assimilated it. After a day, Night Sorrow resolved the threat of the mysterious jade spiritual energy and made it his own. He stopped it below the dragon tendon. Furthermore, Night Sorrow realized that as long as he needed it, the energy of the myriad Tao treasured tome would turn into cold chi after going through the mysterious jade spiritual energy. At the same time that Yishang dealt with the profound jade spirit chi, the woman in white, who had been sitting cross-legged on East Snow Mountain, stood up. The profound jade spirit chi can't be refined. How can I lose my sense of it? Does he have some heaven-defying method? He ran away. It will be difficult to get out. Baidu search, love, go, shao, say, www.itrix.com. Sighing lightly, the white-clothed woman continued to meditate. After thinking for a while, Night Sorrow continued to search for the ice spirit blood essence. Night Sorrow felt that since he had promised, he had to do it. Otherwise, he would feel that he had broken his promise every time he thought about it. Night Sorrow ran on the easternmost ice field and circulated the myriad Tao treasured tome with all his might. In the evening, just as Night Sorrow was about to rest, a muffled sound came from under his feet. Night Sorrow's body flashed and he quickly left the place. Then, the ice layer broke and a white fog sprayed into the sky. Ice spirit well. Night Sorrow circulated the myriad Tao tome and ran around the eastern ice field for an entire day. When he was about to rest, the ice spirit well finally appeared. Baidu search AI go female sign shao, say, www.ichuixus.com. He understood that the white-clothed woman's words made sense. There was no doubt that the ice spirit blood essence existed in the ice spirit well. Sure enough, after the ice spirit well erupted, Night Sorrow found a piece of ice spirit blood essence. After thinking for a while, Night Sorrow decided not to rest and continued running. Running was also a form of training. Resisting the cold was also a form of training. In the following Night Sorrow, he did not stop running. In 5 days, he collected 4 pieces of ice spirit blood essence. Feeling that he had run a little too far, Night Sorrow ran back to East Snow Mountain in a circle. Love go little say, apart from resting and recovering, Night Sorrow ran continuously for 10 days. During these 10 days, Night Sorrow gained a lot. Not only did he collect 6 pieces of ice spirit blood essence, but his cultivation also increased a lot. The extremely cold chi also tempered his quintessential chi and the energy of the myriad Tao tome. When he returned to the foot of East Snow Mountain, Night Sorrow saw Yang Lei standing in front of the shack, looking around. 13. When she saw Night Sorrow, Yang Lei ran over. "Ninth senior sister, I'm back," Night Sorrow said with a smile. "You scared ninth senior sister to death. Ninth senior sister was worried that you wouldn't be able to come back. Why did you run back?" Yang Lei reached out and wiped the frost off Night Sorrow's eyebrows and hair. L+, #genuine Y head, sent, "It's okay. I just went to look for some ice spirit blood essence. Everything went well." Night Sorrow looked at Yang Lei, who had tears in her eyes, and reached out to pull her into his arms. After entering the shack, Yang Lei helped Night Sorrow clean the frost off his body. 13. Let's go back. I don't want to see you like this anymore. Okay, but I still have to go to East Snow Mountain. I have something to do. Night Sorrow looked at Yang Lei and said, 13. Are you hiding something from me? Yang Lei felt that something was wrong. It's nothing. When I come back, I will explain it to Ninth Senior Sister. Wait for me here, Night Sorrow said to Yang Lei. I'll go with you. Yang Lei was sure that Night Sorrow was hiding something from her. No, Ninth Senior Sister. Just wait for me here. Night Sorrow refused directly. He knew that if that woman wanted to make a move, Yang Lei would be of no use. In addition, Night Sorrow also knew that it was too late to leave now. The shack was at the foot of East Snow Mountain. For an expert like the woman in white, it was easy for her to find it. No, I want to go with you. Yang Lei shook her head. Ninth Senior Sister, there is an expert on East Snow Mountain. She is much stronger than our great Elder Hua. I promised her a condition, and I have fulfilled it. Let's go see her and then leave, Night Sorrow said. Stronger than great Elder Hua? Yang Lei looked at Night Sorrow in surprise. Yes, I'm sure. She gives me the feeling that she is almost one with the world of ice and snow. She can control the energy of heaven and earth with a wave of her hand. So, you should wait for me here. Night Sorrow nodded to Yang Lei. After leaving the shack, Night Sorrow jumped onto Tianyu's back and flew towards East Snow Mountain. Yi Shang was gambling. He was gambling that this woman with such a high cultivation was not someone who would go back on her word. He felt that there was no need for her to go against her word because of an ant like him. This would also become a heart demon in the future. At the place where he killed the ice Jiao, Night Sorrow landed on Tianyu's back. When Night Sorrow's eyes swept around, Tianyu on Night Sorrow's back cried out. Night Sorrow turned around and immediately took a few steps back. The woman in white with a veil on her face was not far from him. Here are 3 pieces of Ice Spirit Blood Essence. I've fulfilled my promise. Night Sorrow took out 3 pieces of Ice Spirit Blood Essence and placed them in front of him. Then he took a few steps back and summoned Tianyu to his side. I won't make things difficult for you. I still have some things to discuss with you. The woman took 2 steps forward and picked up the Ice Spirit Blood Essence. Then she frowned. Go ahead. I'm listening. Night Sorrow replied cautiously. You can even trigger such a small piece of Ice Spirit Blood Essence. According to my estimation, it's not enough. The woman in white said in a low voice. Not enough? All right, I'll give you another piece. Night Sorrow took out another piece of Ice Spirit Blood Essence and placed it in front of him. Then he took a few steps back. Enough. I won't take advantage of you. This is a piece of profound ice jade. Take it and you won't lose anything. The woman in white waved her hand and a piece of white jade with a diameter of 1 meter flew towards Night Sorrow. Night Sorrow waved his hand and put the profound ice jade into his storage ring. Can I leave now? Why are you in such a hurry? I already said that I won't make things difficult for you. Do you want a spirit weapon? The woman in white threw out a big bait when she saw that Night Sorrow was about to leave. I don't want it. Are you going to let me go or not? Are you going to break your promise? Night Sorrow asked with a frown. The woman in white pointed at Night Sorrow. Energy surged around her body. She seemed to be extremely angry, but she didn't make a move. Chapter 247. A Genius Remembers Love in 1 Second? We provide you with wonderful novels to read. Let's not talk about spirit artifacts for now. I'm from the Eastern Xian region, and I have to do my best for the Eastern Xian region. What you said makes sense. I'll do my best for the Heaven's Mandate Stone, but I can't give you any guarantees. Yi Shan looked at the woman in white seriously and said, Don't worry, I'm not going to let you go. Yi Shan looked at the woman in white seriously and said, Don't worry. I believe you. Just do your best. Do you have wine? Give me some, the white-clothed woman said to Night Sorrow. Night Sorrow took out a jar of wine and threw it to the white-clothed woman. Then he continued to stand at the side. His mind was in a mess. This woman was too strong, but why did she need his help? You're just a third-order brat. Coming to the Eastern Icefield to look for the blood essence of the Ice Spirit is already a very crazy act. Why did you come to the Eastern Snow Mountain? The woman in white turned around and took a sip of wine before asking. Tianji Tower issued an unrestricted mission to find Ice Spirit Blood Essence. I want to improve my qualifications in Tianji Tower, So I accepted this mission. As for coming to Ice Snow Mountain, I want to refine pills, so I need ice flood dragon bones. Night Sorrow also opened a jar of wine and drank 2 mouthfuls. Ice WRM bone? That's not a difficult question. I remember killing 2 rank 5 Ice Jiao a long time ago. Their corpses are still here. You can take them away. Also, how did you get rid of the mysterious jade spiritual chi in your body? When the woman in white said this, her eyes flashed as she sized up Night Sorrow. When Night Sorrow came back, she had been studying this problem. She found that the profound jade spiritual chi was still there, but it did not listen to her command. That's a personal secret. Night Sorrow didn't want to answer this question. 7 Gaff. The mysterious jade spiritual chi is the energy produced by the mysterious jade body. It's my innate ability. It's unique in the Eastern Xian region, and even in the entire 9 regions and 18 states. As long as the mysterious jade spiritual chi enters the body, there's no way to deal with it. Even if someone has the same cultivation as me, they can only resist the mysterious jade spiritual chi's invasion. If you can solve this problem, it's very important to me. Of course, it's up to you whether you want to tell me or not. You didn't refine it but assimilate it? The woman in white who had been sizing up Night Sorrow discovered the problem. Love go little W2. It's like this. Since I couldn't refine it, I used my own energy to assimilate it. Fortunately, I succeeded. Since the white-clothed woman had seen through him, Yishan didn't hide anything. Not bad. This means that the energy you cultivated is of a very high level. In terms of level, it's not lower than my mysterious jade spiritual chi. Since you have this opportunity, I won't be stingy and give you another mysterious jade spiritual chi. Also, I can teach you the mysterious jade hands of the mysterious jade body. The woman in white thought for a while. Then she waved her arm and shot another mysterious jade spiritual chi at Night Sorrow. Then she took out a beast skin and drew on it with her fingertips. Then she threw the beast skin to Night Sorrow. Night Sorrow took a look at the beast skin and was shocked. There were hollow words on it. This required a very strong control of energy. Alright, follow me to collect the ice dragon's bones. Then we'll go back. The woman in white waved her arm and wrapped Night Sorrow with her energy. Then, Night Sorrow felt the environment change. Then he arrived at a new place. Night Sorrow, who was released by the woman in white, felt the coldness increase. He had to use the myriad Tao Tome at full power to resist it. Not far from Night Sorrow, there were 2 frozen ice dragon corpses. The woman in white waved her hand and shattered the ice around the ice dragon corpses. You can put them away. Night Sorrow nodded and put the 2 ice dragon corpses into Lu Shan Knight's storage ring. Your storage ring has a lot of space, the woman in white said as she watched Night Sorrow put away the ice dragon corpses. It's not that the storage ring has a lot of space. I have 2, Night Sorrow explained. Now, let me tell you about the Destiny Stone. If you obtain the Destiny Stone, I'm just borrowing it. The Destiny Stone will still belong to you. I don't know if anyone has told you about fate. Only those with great fate can obtain the Destiny Stone, the woman in white said to Night Sorrow. Senior, you think I have fate? Night Sorrow asked. Yes. I can tell you about the path of fate. Fate exists in the unseen world. Some people are born with fate. Some people are born with fate. Some people are born with fate. I'm sure you have both, but you're not very strong right now. You have to be careful not to let your fate be stolen. Don't fall so easily, the woman in white said to Night Sorrow. I understand. Let's talk about the Destiny Stone, Night Sorrow said. The Destiny Stone is a spirit stone that contains the origin energy of heaven and earth. It's also called the Origin Stone. When you reach rank 5, come here again. I'll tell you more about it. If I'm not here anymore, crush this soul pearl and I'll come find you. The woman in white threw a milky white pearl to Night Sorrow. Senior, thank you for giving me the book and profound jade spirit chi. I have nothing to repay you with. Here are 2 ice spirit blood essences. Night Sorrow took out 2 more ice spirit blood essences. In other words, he had taken out all the ice spirit blood essences he had collected in the last 10 days. There's more? I'll take 1 more piece. You also want to do an unlimited task. 5 pieces of blood essence of ice spirit are enough for me. I owe you a big favor this time. The white-clothed woman waved her arm and put away a piece of blood essence of ice spirit. Then if there's nothing else, I'll be leaving. Night Sorrow saw Tianyu fly up with difficulty. I'm a woman of my word. As long as you're willing to find the Destiny Stone and come back when you reach rank 5, I'll give you a spirit artifact. If I give it to you now, I won't have any other benefits, the woman in white said to Night Sorrow. After putting away the ice spirit blood essences, Night Sorrow looked at the woman in white and asked, I'll come back. Can I leave my name? Alright. I'm Spirit Consort Wu. Don't tell anyone about me. The woman in white's figure turned illusory and disappeared. Night Sorrow looked at where Spirit Consort Wu was standing before he rode Tianyu to the foot of East Snow Mountain. When he arrived at the foot of East Snow Mountain, Night Sorrow saw Yang Lei, who was looking forward to seeing him. Are you okay? Yang Lei jumped up and landed on Tianyu's back. After a few days of rest, she had completely recovered. The problem is solved and I even got some benefits. Senior sister, you ride Tianyu in the air and I'll run on the ground. Night Sorrow planned to continue running after leaving East Snow Mountain's range to see if he could get anything else. Since he had the opportunity to get the ice spirit blood essences, Night Sorrow planned to get more benefits. Gong Xian, Sikong Chuyu, and Yang Lei all needed rank 5 weapons and rank 5 pills. Chapter 248. Genius 1 second. Remember Love Go Divided by Xiao? We provide you with wonderful novels to read. Leave your wine for me. As the sky feather took off, Wu Lingfei's voice rang out in Yishang's ears. Night Sorrow turned his head and saw that Yang Lei didn't react at all. He immediately understood that Wu Lingfei had said this specifically for him to hear. After jumping off Tianyu, Night Sorrow took out 2 jars of wine from his storage ring and placed the rest on the ice. Then he jumped onto Tianyu's back and left with Yang Lei. Yang Lei saw Night Sorrow's strange behavior and didn't ask because it wasn't the right time to do so. After Night Sorrow and Yang Lei left, a blurry figure appeared and then solidified. It collected the wine that Night Sorrow had left behind and then disappeared again. Yang Lei asked when they were about 400 to 500 miles away from East Snow Mountain. It was someone from East Snow Mountain who sent me a voice transmission and asked me to leave the wine behind, Night Sorrow said. I didn't notice at all. This person is too strong, Yang Lei said with a sigh. Senior sister, you and Tianyu fly slowly up there. I'll go collect some more ice spirit blood essence. After the danger passed, Night Sorrow felt a lot better. Just as Yang Lei was about to say something, Night Sorrow had already jumped down and started running on the ice field. Baidu search AI go female sign Xiao, say, www.taichuxis. Seeing Night Sorrow running quickly, Yang Lei felt helpless. She could only follow behind Night Sorrow with Tianyu. After running for 6 hours, something happened. The ice field where Night Sorrow had just run past shattered and white ice spirit chi soared into the sky. Yang Lei rode on Tianyu and landed beside Night Sorrow. What's going on? If I circulate the blood energy in my body at full speed, the ice spirit blood essence in the ice field C will sense it and erupt, Night Sorrow said with a smile. So that's how it is. The possibility of finding it while riding a flying demonic beast is very low. No wonder the ice spirit blood essence is so hard to find. Love Go Little say, Yang Lei seemed to understand the crux of the matter. Ice spirit wells that appear naturally are extremely rare. After all, they only appear when the ice spirit blood essence is very close to the surface of the ice, Night Sorrow said as he put away the ice spirit blood essence with his claws. How do you know this? Yang Lei thought of another question. That person told me. I helped her find 5 pieces and completed some transactions. Let's not talk about this anymore. Let's head out of the easternmost ice field and search as we go. We'll find as many as we can. The blood energy contained in the ice spirit blood essence is very domineering. It might be useful for my cultivation in the future, Night Sorrow said. Night Sorrow cultivated the myriad Tao treasured tome and needed the strength of his flesh and blood. The ice spirit blood essence contained this kind of energy. Then try your best to find as many as you can, Yang Lei said as she patted Night Sorrow's shoulder. Night Sorrow then continued running in the easternmost ice field. In a few days, Night Sorrow had accumulated 7 pieces of ice spirit blood essence. There were also a few battles in between. None of the enemies that appeared were Yang Lei's match. Yang Lei's cultivation was at the 5th stage. Coupled with the wind and thunder sword technique and heaven-covering hand, she had the ability to fight above her level. It was very difficult to defeat her. Night Sorrow's running was much slower than flying on the Tianyu. However, Night Sorrow and Yang Lei didn't mind. Night Sorrow treated this as cultivation and Yang Lei didn't lack any time. At night, the two of them rested in a shack made of animal skin. Yang Lei liked the feeling of leaning against Night Sorrow. Every time he hugged Yang Lei to rest, Night Sorrow had a strange impulse. He felt that his relationship with Yang Lei was different from before. It had crossed the line of a simple sibling relationship. After leaving the East Snow Mountain for a period of time, Night Sorrow and Yang Lei left the easternmost ice field. Night Sorrow's harvest was 11 pieces of ice spirit blood essence. According to Yang Lei's wishes, the two of them continued to search. However, Night Sorrow didn't think it was necessary. He would come back in the future anyway. Yang Lei respected Night Sorrow's wishes. During this period of time, Yang Lei had changed a little. In front of Night Sorrow, she was no longer as strong as before. She had become much gentler. Outside the ice field, Yang Lei released the blue condor and let Tianyu rest. The two of them sat on the back of the blue condor and flew back to Danding City. 9th senior sister, when we go back, call the senior brothers who need to do the unrestricted mission and let them submit it, Night Sorrow said. Forget it. Do you think the senior brothers and senior sisters will take advantage of you? However, as for eldest senior brother, we have to persuade him as well. He has also cultivated the wind and thunder sword technique like senior sister. Using the thunder sword is the most suitable choice, said Yang Lei. What about the others? Night Sorrow asked. The others are still a distance away from the 5th step. Also, they all have their own paths, Yang Lei said. All right. However, I still have to help 6th senior sister get a weapon. Night Sorrow said. He knew that it was difficult for women to do missions. Always personality was gentle. She liked to study alchemy and formations. She didn't do many missions. Yes, 6th senior sister needs help, Yang Lei nodded. After chatting for a while, Yang Lei leaned on Night Sorrow's chest to rest. Night Sorrow could only hug Yang Lei's soft body and cultivate. One had to admit that this was a test for Night Sorrow. It was a test of his willpower and determination. 13, 9th senior sister won't be able to get married, Yang Lei said softly as she leaned on Night Sorrow's chest. 9th senior sister, I will go back and talk to Chuyu, Night Sorrow said softly after thinking for a while. Let me handle this matter. Don't be troubled. Yang Lei had already made up her mind. Night Sorrow didn't know what to feel. He knew what Yang Lei meant. He just felt that he had wronged Sikong Chuyu and Yang Lei. Night Sorrow also remembered what Sikong Chuyu said that day. He knew that Sikong Chuyu had already felt it, but he didn't oppose it. 9th senior sister, don't you feel wronged? Night Sorrow asked. You have seen what you should and shouldn't see. Why would I feel wronged? I want to rest. Just hug me and don't touch me, Yang Lei reminded Night Sorrow and then went to rest. Night Sorrow was helpless. He knew that some things could only be done as they were. He sat on the back of the blue eagle and started to assimilate the new Xian Jade Spirit Qi that Wu Lingfei gave him. As soon as Night Sorrow started, Yang Lei sat up straight because Night Sorrow was emitting a strong chill. Seeing that Night Sorrow's eyebrows and hair were covered in frost, Yang Lei was very shocked. They had already left the eastern ice field. Although it was still a bit cold, it wasn't as strong. She couldn't understand what was happening to Night Sorrow's body, but she knew that it wouldn't hurt Night Sorrow because his face and lips were red. After a day, Night Sorrow finished assimilating the new Xian Jade Spirit Qi. He could now control 2 Xian Jade Spirit Qi. Q5 shots at this time, Yang Lei had already landed the Blue Eagle to boil water and make food. In order not to disturb Night Sorrow, Yang Lei had the Blue Eagle lie there obediently. Chapter 249. Genius 1 second. Remember love divided by go divided by little? We provide you with wonderful novels to read. 13. What exactly are you cultivating? Why are you so cold during the day? Yang Lei asked as she brewed a pot of tea and looked at Night Sorrow. Love go little say, chew. I plan to cultivate a new battle technique. During the day, I solved the problem of the two profound jade spiritual cheese, Night Sorrow said with a smile. He was in an extremely good mood. Solve it quickly. Otherwise, when you get married in the future, you can only look at her. Don't hug me in the future, Yang Lei said as she looked at Night Sorrow. It's already solved. If I don't cultivate in the future, this won't happen again. Night Sorrow felt the profound jade spiritual cheese on both sides of the dragon tendons on his back and said, now, the two profound jade spiritual cheese were his. Cultivating the profound jade hands was to circulate the two profound jade spiritual cheese to strengthen both hands. In the end, it could be cultivated to a level comparable to a divine weapon. That's good. Have a good rest after drinking the water. You've been too tired during this period. Although your body can withstand it, your mind is also exhausted, Yang Lei said. Okay, I'll feed Tianyu a beast pill first. Night Sorrow took out a beast pill and gave it to Tianyu. The blue condor directly hunted demonic beasts. Tianyu didn't eat anything raw other than python gall. Baidu search AI go female sign Xiao, say, www.taichuexis. After Night Sorrow settled Tianyu down, Yang Lei finished roasting the two pheasants and took out a jar of wine. Ninth senior sister, thank you for accompanying me to the eastern ice field. Let me toast you with this bowl of wine. Night Sorrow took the wine jar and poured out 2 bowls. He picked up a bowl and raised it to Yang Lei. Yang Lei smiled, picked up the bowl, and drank it directly. After the two of them ate, Night Sorrow set up a shack and covered it with animal skins. 13. You have a lot of storage rings, so you have a storage space. Next time you go out, you can bring some blankets or something. It's necessary to cultivate diligently, but if you can feel comfortable, you should feel comfortable, right? Yang Lei said after entering the shack. Love go little, Sate. I'll prepare for it in the future. Ninth senior sister, you can rest now. Night Sorrow nodded with a smile. He knew that Aoi and Yang Lei had high standards for living. Let's rest together? Yang Lei blushed. Night Sorrow rubbed his forehead. The space in the shack was indeed a little small. It was okay when it was cold a few days ago, but now that they were together, it was a little inappropriate. I'll go out and meditate. Ninth senior sister, rest. After speaking, Night Sorrow walked out. 13. Don't be so particular. Yang Lei pulled Night Sorrow and let Night Sorrow sit on the animal skin. She leaned against it and sat down. Night Sorrow had nothing to say. He took off his animal skin and put it on Yang Lei. Then, he covered Yang Lei's body with the golden silk leopard's animal skin. After lying down, Yang Lei looked at Night Sorrow and said with a blushing face, "It's very warm. Come in too." Night Sorrow nodded and went under the animal skin, lying down next to Yang Lei. Yang Lei's body shrank into Yishang's embrace, and then she rested. Baidu search AI go female sign Xiao, say, www.taichuexis. Him hugging Yang Lei, Night Sorrow also rested. He was really tired these past few days. When the sun rose, Night Sorrow was woken up by the pain. Yang Lei had hit a key part of his body. Are you having some weird thoughts? After waking up, Yang Lei realized that Night Sorrow's key part was pressed against her, so she reached out and knocked on it. I really didn't. I was well behaved the whole night. After a night's sleep, there was still some reaction in the morning. This Night Sorrow was also very helpless. I'm such a failure as a woman. Lying in your arms like this, you don't even have any thoughts. Yang Lei glared at Night Sorrow. Ninth senior sister, do you want me to have thoughts or not? Night Sorrow was somewhat helpless. Yang Lei's words were wrong no matter how he answered. You can have thoughts, but you can't move. Yang Lei said with a smile. Night Sorrow could only nod. At this time, what else could he say? After hugging Yang Lei for a while, Night Sorrow got up to practice wind-chasing spear technique and shattering killing fist. 13. Your cultivation has improved so fast. You are now in the middle stage of core condensation stage. When you enter the third stage of core condensation stage, you can eat essence congealing pill to quickly increase your cultivation level. Yang Lei said to Night Sorrow, when we return to the Medicine Valley, it should be enough. Night Sorrow said as he put away his reincarnation spear. After tidying up, the two continued their journey. Yang Lei closed her eyes and meditated. Night Sorrow took out the mysterious Jade Hand's ancient book that Wu Lingfei gave him and began to read it. The mysterious Jade Hand was a part of Wu Lingfei's ultimate technique, the mysterious Jade Body. Wu Lingfei had first used extreme cold energy to temper her body and cultivate the mysterious Jade Body. Only then did she have the mysterious Jade Spirit Qi. Now that Night Sorrow has mysterious Jade Qi in his body, he can use mysterious Jade Qi to temper his hands. Only after tempering his hands can he use mysterious Jade Hands. After putting away the ancient book, Night Sorrow controlled the two mysterious Jade Qi to enter his hands through his arms. He stimulated the cold Qi in the mysterious Jade Qi to temper his hands. A cultivator's attacks were mostly completed with their hands. Therefore, the strength of their hands was extremely important. When Night Sorrow was cultivating, Yang Lei woke up. Because of Night Sorrow's cultivation, Tianyu's back was extremely cold. It had already surpassed the core region of the eastern ice field. Without disturbing Night Sorrow, Yang Lei released the Azure Condor. She landed on the Azure Condor's back and sat cross-legged to meditate and cultivate. She was already used to Night Sorrow's situation. It was normal for anything to happen to Night Sorrow's body. The process of tempering his hands was very painful. After being tempered by extreme cold Qi, waves of pain invaded Night Sorrow's mind. Genuine first edition Night Sorrow thought that after tempering his hands with cold Qi, his hands would become numb. However, that was not the case. The sensation in his hands was very intense. The pain in his blood vessels, nerves, and bones were very clear. Knowing that he had to pass the stage, Night Sorrow resisted the pain. He controlled the two mysterious Jade Qi to spread to every corner of his hands. In the evening, Night Sorrow stopped cultivating. He directly retracted the mysterious Jade Qi that he had used a little and returned it to the dragon tendons on his back. Looking at his hands, Night Sorrow realized that his hands were much fairer and his fists were more powerful. Yang Lei looked at Yishang's fair hands and said, "You brat, you even know how to stop cultivating. Hey, your hands are almost as tender as mine." Yishang said, "Yes, this is the effect of cultivating a new combat skill." Night Sorrow raised his hands and looked at them. Then he stabbed them into the ancient tree beside him. Night Sorrow's hands were stabbed into the tree. When he pulled his hands back, there were no scratches on his hands at all. "What kind of combat skill are you cultivating?" Yang Lei asked in shock. "Mysterious Jade Hands. I just started cultivating it. The effect is not bad." Night Sorrow looked at his hands with satisfaction. Chapter 250. Genius 1 second. Remember Love Go Divided by Xiao? We provide you with wonderful novels to read. The strength of Night Sorrow's hands was already very high. Just now, he only used his strength and didn't use any energy to protect his hands. However, he didn't suffer any injuries. Baidu search AI Go female sign Xiao, say www.taichuexis.com. Your hands are weapons. Yang Lei said with emotion. In the future, I won't have to worry about my hands getting injured when I use Destruction Fist Art, Heaven Covering Hand, and Mysterious Jade Hands. Night Sorrow said with a smile. Eat something and rest. Yang Lei said. She was really happy for Night Sorrow. Night Sorrow didn't rest with Yang Lei. He wanted to speed up the tempering of his hands. In addition, he didn't want to rest with Yang Lei, because hugging her to rest made him restless. After a night, Night Sorrow's hands were strengthened by a lot. Each of the two strands of mysterious jade spiritual qi had consumed 1/5 of it. After hurrying, Night Sorrow continued to strengthen his hands. While strengthening his hands, Night Sorrow also practiced the Myriad Tao Tome and Sacred Cauldron Scripture. 5 days later, Night Sorrow had used up the 2 strands of mysterious jade spiritual qi. It couldn't be said that it was used up. The 2 strands of mysterious jade spiritual chi had scattered into Night Sorrow's flesh, blood, tendons, and bones. At this moment, Night Sorrow's hands were sparkling like jade, like a work of art. Night Sorrow's hands could easily crush ancient trees and mountain rocks. His hands weren't affected at all. Night Sorrow even used the sky-piercing spear to chop off his hands. After the chop, his hands weren't injured, only leaving a white mark. Are these still your hands? When Night Sorrow used the sky-piercing spear to chop off his hands, Yang Lei was shocked. However, when she saw the sky-piercing spear bouncing off, she was shocked. Night Sorrow followed the chant of the mysterious Jade Hands manual and circulated the mysterious Jade spiritual energy in his right hand. His body flashed as he grabbed at an ancient tree in front of him. Night Sorrow tore off a section of the sturdy ancient tree, and at the same time, the ancient tree was frozen. I've finally succeeded. Trump card. Yang Lei knew that Night Sorrow's battle technique was definitely a trump card that would never fail. 13. Who is that person? Yang Lei asked curiously. She's a very powerful expert. Her spatial imprisonment is much stronger than illusory sky. I don't know why such an expert would be at East Snow Mountain. She almost killed me the first time I went up there. Night Sorrow still had some lingering fear. Experts were all eccentric. Killing someone was nothing. Want to kill you? Yang Lei asked with a frown. Because East Snow Mountain is her territory. It's a forbidden area. Once you enter her territory, who can stop her if she wants to kill you? Night Sorrow said with a smile. A woman? Then how did you escape? Yang Lei asked with some concern. Night Sorrow nodded and told her about the battle and the deal. Then why did you go the second time? Yang Lei glared at Night Sorrow. Since I agreed, I have to go. Otherwise, it will be a stain on my record when I think about it in the future, Night Sorrow said. Maybe you did the right thing. Experts have a characteristic. If they want to kill you, they will kill you at the beginning. If they didn't kill you at the beginning, they won't have any killing intent later. I really didn't expect there to be such a strong woman in Eastern Xian region. Love go little, say, Chiang Lei said. Let's forget about this matter. That person didn't let me talk about her. However, according to my analysis, she might be cultivating an extreme cold cultivation technique, so she wants to stay at East Snow Mountain, Night Sorrow said. Then let's not talk about this anymore. When we go back, Senior Sister will have a Tier 5 weapon to play with. Yang Lei was very excited at the thought of a Tier 5 weapon. Ninth Senior Sister, that woman mentioned a realm war. Are there any in the 9 regions and 18 states? Night Sorrow asked. Of course there are. There was one 300 years ago. I heard that many venerables died in battle. Yang Lei nodded. Okay, got it. That woman needs my help. I really have to help her, Night Sorrow said after thinking for a while. Since she's willing to teach you such a battle skill, I'm sure she doesn't have any ill intentions towards you. Your battle prowess has increased quite a bit, Yang Lei said as she looked at Yishang's jade-like hands. Indeed. At the very least, I won't have to worry about my hands getting injured when I exchange blows with others in the future, Night Sorrow said as he clenched his hands. This is a killer move. Hide it well and use it at a critical moment to kill the enemy, Yang Lei said as she patted Night Sorrow's shoulder. I understand what Senior Sister means. Let's go, Night Sorrow said. How about I sit with you on Tianyu today? You were cold a few days ago. You shouldn't be cold now, right? Yang Lei looked at Night Sorrow and asked. I won't be cold anymore. I've already completely controlled the profound jade energy. I feel that the woman taking out 2 strands of profound jade energy will affect her quite a bit. Night Sorrow flashed onto Tianyu's back. He knew that the 2 strands of profound jade energy were very precious. It wasn't pure energy that could be consumed or replenished. It should be origin energy. In fact, Night Sorrow guessed right. On East Snow Mountain's Chenren Peak, Wu Lingfei stood with her hands behind her back and muttered to herself, I need 3 years to condense 2 strands of profound jade energy. I hope you don't waste it. 5 pieces of ice spirit blood essence is enough to make up for the loss of blood chi last time. Night Sorrow was holding Yang Lei while cultivating pure energy and the myriad Tao Tome. The next few days were spent like this. Night Sorrow cultivated during the day and rested with Yang Lei at night. Not far from the Medicine Valley, Night Sorrow's cultivation once again reached a bottleneck. First, his pure energy reached the peak of the second level of the core condensation realm, mainly because he had a top-grade spirit congealing pill. 2 days after his pure energy reached the peak of the second level of the core condensation realm, Night Sorrow also cultivated the myriad Tao Tome to the peak of the 9th level of the muscle strengthening realm. Night Sorrow was thinking about whether to return to the Medicine Valley to make a breakthrough or to make a breakthrough on the road. Yang Lei felt that there was no need to return to the Medicine Valley. He could make a breakthrough now. After listening to Yang Lei's suggestion, Night Sorrow began to make a breakthrough. His pure energy breakthrough was very smooth and didn't have any difficulties. It only took him half the night to make a breakthrough. Because he wasn't in a hurry, Night Sorrow didn't make a breakthrough in the myriad Tao Tome. He stabilized his cultivation overnight. Today, he didn't hurry on the road. Night Sorrow stabilized his pure energy cultivation in the morning and began to make a breakthrough in the myriad Tao Tome. This breakthrough was very important for Night Sorrow. This wasn't a breakthrough but an advancement. Once he succeeded, Night Sorrow would enter the myriad Tao Tome's bone forging chapter and his strength would increase again. After greeting Yang Lei, Night Sorrow went to strengthen the tendons in his head. The strengthening of the tendons in the head was the most important part of the myriad Tao Tome's muscle strengthening realm. A cultivator's senses were very important. Sight, hearing, and smell could determine the outcome of a battle. That was why many people focused on cultivating these senses. Night Sorrow was currently strengthening the tendons in his head to strengthen his sight, hearing, smell, and other senses. Furthermore, only by strengthening the tendons in his head would Night Sorrow be able to enter the bone-forging chapter of the myriad Tao Tome. In the future, his body would rapidly increase in strength. Yang Lei could only watch as Night Sorrow made a breakthrough. She didn't know what kind of cultivation technique Night Sorrow was cultivating. It wasn't only her who didn't know. The people around Night Sorrow also didn't know. Chapter 251. Genius 1 second. Remember love/go/little? I'll provide you with a wonderful novel to read. After controlling the energy to enter the tendons in his head, Night Sorrow's face and the tendons behind his ears began to twitch. Soon, sweat appeared on his face from the pain. The nerves in the head were sensitive, so the pain was also intense. However, Night Sorrow could endure it. He had cultivated the myriad Tao treasured tome for a long time, so he had experienced a lot of pain. Looking at Night Sorrow's sweat, Yang Lei could only walk back and forth. She could see how much pain Night Sorrow was in from Night Sorrow's distorted face. The tendons in the head were small, so strengthening them wasn't as easy as strengthening the other areas. However, the energy consumption was less. The only difficulty was enduring the pain. When evening came, Night Sorrow finished his breakthrough. His cultivation of the myriad Tao treasured tome had officially entered the bone-forging realm. Standing up, Night Sorrow felt that his senses had become much stronger. He could clearly hear the chirping of birds from far away. He could even hear the sound of insects digging through the soil. With a clear mind, Night Sorrow raised his head and roared. "I've already prepared the food and wine. Go wash up and then we'll eat. Ninth senior sister will celebrate with you," Yang Lei said with a smile. Looking at the circles of sweat on his robes that had dried up, Night Sorrow left the camp and found a place to take a bath. After taking a bath and feeding Tianyu a beast origin pill, Night Sorrow and Yang Lei drank wine to celebrate. Fortunately, ninth senior sister brought wine. Otherwise, we would have to drink water. Night Sorrow said with a smile. He no longer had any wine in his spatial ring. Yang Lei smiled but didn't say anything. She really enjoyed the feeling of being together with Night Sorrow like this. After eating, Yishang helped Yang Lei, who was a little drunk, to rest. Then he sat down to stabilize his cultivation. He had just made a breakthrough in his true qi and the myriad Tao treasured tome, so he needed to stabilize his cultivation. New chapter equals. Above $3 barely in the morning, Yang Lei came out of the shack and stretched her seductive waist. You've been cultivating all night again. I wonder if I'm not attractive anymore. Didn't I just break through? I need to stabilize my cultivation. Night Sorrow explained with a smile. Let's pack up and set off. We'll be back in Danding City in 2 days, Yang Lei said. Sitting on Tianyu's back, Night Sorrow and Yang Lei chatted. The two of them discussed how many missions they needed to hand in. Yang Lei's weapon was dealt with once, and Night Sorrow's weapon was dealt with once. He gave the weapon to Gong Xian, but Sikong Chuyu and Oi's weapons were not dealt with yet. Baidu search AI Yugo female sign Xiao Shua www.itrix.com. Let sixth senior sister hand in once. Sixth senior sister has points to exchange for materials. Sixth senior sister needs to concoct pills and research formations, Yang Lei said. Then I'll see if Chuyu can hand it in anonymously. Night Sorrow was a little worried about Sikong Chuyu's safety. Let's do it like that. If it's not convenient for Sikong, call eldest senior brother to hand in the mission, and give your weapon to Sikong. Yang Lei agreed with Night Sorrow's point of view. 2 days later, the two of them successfully returned to Danding City and the Dragon Spring Courtyard. Seeing the two of them return, Sikong Chuyu and Oi were very happy. The other disciples also came up to greet them. Baidu search AI Yugo female sign Xiao Shua www.itrix. Then when they were drinking tea in the hall, Night Sorrow told them his decision. 13. Sixth senior sister thanks you in advance. Aoi didn't stand on ceremony. She was very willing to accept her junior brother's kindness. Sixth senior sister, prepare some wine for 13. He doesn't have any wine to drink now, Yang Lei said, but she didn't mention that Night Sorrow's wine was given to someone else. Okay, 13, whatever wine you want, as long as I have it, it's not a problem. When we return to Medicine Valley, I'll give it to you, Aoi said with a smile. Then Night Sorrow asked Sikong Chuyu for his opinion. It's not a problem for me to go to other cities to hand in the mission. I am the inspector of the Extreme Heaven Tower, but I also have a gold token. It's normal for me to do some missions. However, can any of you lend me a flying mount? I can't use my Fire Phoenix. It's too conspicuous. Sikong Chuyu said, how about this? I'll ride the Green Condor and take Sikong to other cities to hand in the mission. 13, you and sixth senior sister will go to Danding City to hand in the mission, Yang Lei said. Ninth junior sister, it's more suitable for 13 to accompany Sikong. Visit. I have something to say to Sikong. Besides, I'm an elder of Medicine Valley. It'll be more convenient for Sikong to go with me, Yang Lei said. After hearing Yang Lei's words, Night Sorrow shuddered. He knew that some things couldn't be hidden anymore. Then let's go and come back quickly. Hi Luo Wei, your young master has suffered a lot recently. You have to prepare some good food for him, Aoi said to Hai Luo and Luo Wei with a smile. Sixth senior sister, Tianyu has suffered a lot recently. Let's go on your Green Condor. Little Six, prepare more food for Tianyu, Night Sorrow said to Little Six. After that, they left the Longquan Courtyard to hand in the mission. After leaving the Longquan Courtyard, the four of them went their separate ways. Night Sorrow and Aoi rode Aoi's Green Condor to Danding City. 13. Are you and ninth senior sister? Boyest. How do you know, sixth senior sister? Night Sorrow was worried about this. I can see it from the way your ninth senior sister looks at you. But it's also a good thing. For so many years, there hasn't been a man that your ninth senior sister likes. Let's see what Sikong's attitude is. Just now, when she noticed Yang Lei's abnormal situation, Qing Ji knew what was going on. Sixth senior sister, I don't know what to say. It's my fault. Master might be disappointed. Night Sorrow's voice was a little low. He was worried that Yang Yu would be disappointed in him. That won't happen. Master won't object. He will only support you. The key is to see what Sikong says. Ninth senior sister has a strong self-esteem. If Sikong is unhappy or says something, then you'll have to deal with the aftermath, Aoi said to Night Sorrow. Aoi liked Sikong Chuyu very much. However, Yang Lei was her junior sister who had lived with her for many years. They grew up together and supported each other. They were no different from sisters. At this time, she would support Yang Lei. Sixth senior sister, I will try my best to deal with this, Night Sorrow said. Sixth senior sister understands. I didn't know that you have some skills. Sikong Chuyu's personality is like water. It's not surprising that you can hook up with him. You can handle ninth senior sister's temper. This ability is comparable to your cultivation ability, Aptai said with a smile. Sixth senior sister, I don't understand what's going on either, Night Sorrow said as he rubbed his hair. As the two of them chatted, they arrived at the Empyrean Tower in Danding City. There were still many people in the Empyrean Tower. The disciples of the Medicine Valley were all doing missions. There were also some itinerant cultivators here to earn points. After entering Tianji Tower, Night Sorrow asked someone to inform Enforcer Dong. He had high expectations for this unrestricted mission. Unrestricted missions were higher than gold missions. The points rewarded were several times more than gold missions. It was equivalent to Night Sorrow doing dozens of silver missions. Not to mention the points, there were also good pills as rewards. Chapter 252. Genius 1 second. Remember Love Go Divided by Xiao? We provide you with wonderful novels to read. The main reason was that the materials were too scarce. Even if one had alchemy skills, it was useless without the materials. Baidu search AI Go female sign Xiao, say, www.taichuexis. Soon, Enforcer Dong was led to the hall by the staff. When he saw Night Sorrow and Aoi, he smiled and nodded. I'm here to submit the mission, Night Sorrow said. Okay, follow me. Enforcer Dong nodded and led Night Sorrow and Aoi into a private room. Night Sorrow took out a small piece of Ice Spirit Blood Essence. Ice Spirit Blood Essence. You completed the unrestricted mission? Enforcer Dong was very surprised when he saw the Ice Spirit Blood Essence. Yes, I finished it. My senior sister also finished it, Night Sorrow said with a smile. Okay, but the mission reward will only arrive in a few days. After all, the headquarters doesn't know which city can complete the mission, so the reward is still in the headquarters, Enforcer Dong said to Night Sorrow. Alright, then we'll hand in the mission. We'll come back later to collect the reward, Yishang said. At the same time, he had Qing Ji take out the token and the Ice Spirit Blood Essence that Yishang had given her. Okay, the reward will arrive in a few days. You're not far from a gold token. Enforcer Dong was very shocked. After all, this unrestricted mission was too difficult to complete. Even a rank 4 practitioner had a slim chance of completing it. Okay, if I have time, I'll come back next month to complete the mission. Night Sorrow planned to upgrade his token to gold rank in one go. Okay, I'm looking forward to you entering gold rank, Enforcer Dong said with a smile. Then let me ask, how many times can a person complete an unrestricted mission? Night Sorrow asked. If possible, he wanted to rush to gold rank directly. Only once. As long as it's the same task in Tianji Tower, everyone can only do it once. They don't want people to earn points. Enforcer Dong glanced at Night Sorrow. He knew that Night Sorrow might still have Ice Spirit Blood Essence. Night Sorrow stood up and said, I understand. You can continue with your work, Enforcer Dong. You can come back to get your reward in a few days. Don't worry, it won't go wrong, Enforcer Dong said to Night Sorrow. Night Sorrow cupped his hands at Enforcer Dong and left Tianji Tower with Aoi. Why can't you just give me the quest rewards? Night Sorrow was a little dissatisfied. 13. You should know that not every Tianji Tower branch has access to Tier 5 weapons and pills. It's normal for them to be sent to us by the higher-ups. We don't mind waiting for a few more days, Aoi said with a smile. Sixth senior sister, come with me to buy some materials. I want to refine the dragon bone forging pill. I'm lacking some auxiliary materials, Night Sorrow said. Okay, let's go. Aoi also knew that Night Sorrow needed to refine some special pills. The shops in Danding City did a lot of pill and materials business. It took less than an hour for Night Sorrow to get all the materials he needed. He also got some materials for the spirit congealing pill, which was used to practice alchemy. After finishing these, the two returned to the Longquan courtyard. The dragon bone forging pill you want to refine is the same as the pill you refined last time? After making tea, Aoi looked at Night Sorrow and asked. No, the leopard embryo tendon strengthening pill I refined last time strengthened the tendons and meridians. This time, I'm refining a level 3 pill to strengthen the bones. Yishang took the 3-headed ice flood dragon out of his storage ring. The 2 Tier 5 ice jiao corpses were 4 to 5 feet long and more than 4 feet in diameter. The one Night Sorrow killed was smaller. After all, they were not of the same level. Later, with the help of Aoi, Night Sorrow collected the bones, gallbladder, and blood of the ice jiao. The meat was naturally the delicacy of the green condor and Tianyu. When Night Sorrow and Aoi finished dealing with the ice jiao corpse, Yang Lei and Sikong Chuyu also came back. The result was the same as Night Sorrow and Aoi. They had to wait a few days. But everyone knew that this would not be wrong, because the reputation of Tianji Tower was an iron guarantee. Night Sorrow has been secretly watching Sikong Chuyu's face. He knows that with Yang Lei's character, she must have said something to Sikong Chuyu. It depends on Sikong Chuyu's attitude. However, things were different from what Night Sorrow thought. Sikong Chuyu, Yang Lei and Aoi were talking and laughing as if nothing had happened. With nothing to do, Night Sorrow began to refine pills and began to practice with the Tier 3 Spirit Congealing Pill to practice his alchemy level. After all, the Dragon Bone Forging Pill was not so easy to refine, and it was more difficult than the Spirit Congealing Pill. Night Sorrow was refining pills, Aoi was guiding on the side, and some 3rd-generation disciples were watching on the side. See, your 13th martial uncle, not only is his cultivation speed fast, but his alchemy level is also good. Many of the Peiyuan pill and Juyuan pill you use are your 13th martial uncle's work. Yang Lei educated the disciples. Night Sorrow can now condense the pill fire, but the pill fire is not enough for alchemy. Cultivators who enter the core condensation stage can condense the pill fire, but it's not very useful. It's just gathering chi into a fire. Only when they enter the Tier 4 can they use the pill fire for alchemy. Night Sorrow uses middle-grade spirit stones for alchemy. Low-grade spirit stones activate the fire-gathering array of the alchemy furnace, which can only refine Tier 1 and Tier 2 medicinal pills. Refining Tier 3 medicinal pills requires a strong pill fire, and it also takes a long time to quench the medicinal pills, which must be done with middle-grade spirit stones. Using the middle-grade spirit stones to activate the fire-gathering array of the alchemy furnace, Night Sorrow began to refine the Spirit Congealing Pill. The first time he refined the Spirit Congealing Pill, it ended in failure. After all, refining Tier 3 medicinal pills is much more complicated than refining Tier 2 medicinal pills. Come on, wipe your sweat, and continue to study. Sikong Chuyu handed Night Sorrow a towel and said, Z is the only _W_R genuine, S is Q pirate % version, thank you, I wasted a furnace of materials, I will continue to try. After wiping his sweat, Night Sorrow began to continue. Although the second furnace did not fail directly, it was dark and could not be taken. After refining 2 furnaces in a row, Night Sorrow consumed a lot of energy, and then went to meditate to recover. When Night Sorrow recovered, it was already dinner time. After eating something, Night Sorrow and Sikong Chuyu came to the celestial water lake. Chuyu, I may have disappointed you. Turning around, Night Sorrow looked at Sikong Chuyu and said, Ninth senior sister said something, I don't blame you. Ninth senior sister is also a person who is easy to get along with. Sikong Chuyu said, Aren't you angry? Night Sorrow hugged Sikong Chuyu and asked, I'm not angry, but I'm a little lost. Sikong Chuyu said. At the celestial water lake, the two stayed for a long time before going back to rest. Sending Sikong Chuyu to the attic, Night Sorrow hugged Sikong Chuyu. I'm sorry. I know you, and I know that you are good to me, so you don't have to say anything. Sikong Chuyu whispered. Looking at Sikong Chuyu's delicate face, Night Sorrow couldn't control himself, bowed his head and kissed Sikong Chuyu's red lips, and the two separated after a while. Chapter 253. A Genius Remembers Love in 1 Second? We provide you with wonderful novels to read. No, Ninth Senior Sister said that if I have any ideas, I should look for you first. Baidu search, love, go, xiao, shua, www.taichuexis. Come to Night Sorrow laughed. You two only know how to bully me. None of you are good people. Sikong Chuyu blushed and ran back to her room. However, she understood one thing. She knew that Yang Lei respected her a lot. She didn't rely on her status as Night Sorrow's 9th senior sister to put on an imposing manner. Instead, she put on a very humble attitude. At this moment, in Yang Lei's loft, Aoi and Yang Lei were sipping tea. 9th junior sister, did everything go well? 6th senior sister, don't you already know? You'll have to wait for a few days to collect your reward, Yang Lei said. You know that's not what I'm asking. Do you think 6th senior sister is stupid? What did Sikong say? I looked at Yang Lei and asked. She won't object. As long as Night Sorrow likes it, she will like it, Yang Lei said in a low voice. Sikong is a reasonable person. You can't bully him in the future. You stole his treasure in the first place. You should respect each other. Only then will the three of you be harmonious, Aoi said. I know. That's why I didn't delay it at all. I talked to her as soon as I came back. I didn't want her to have a barrier in her heart. Yang Lei nodded. Aoi smiled and poured a cup of tea for Yang Lei. Knowing the result, she felt a lot more relaxed. She hoped that her junior sister and junior brother would be happy. 6th senior sister, isn't this a little embarrassing for me? Yang Lei was a little embarrassed. No, not many people in the Medicine Valley are good enough for you, and you don't like any of them. 13 is a good candidate, but he's still young, so you can't rush it. You'll have to wait a few years, Aoi said with a smile. 6th senior sister, what are you talking about? How am I in a hurry? Yang Lei's face was a little red. Master, eldest senior brother, and 2nd senior brother must be very happy. Aoi said with a smile. Baidu search AI go female sign xiao, say, www.taichuexis.com, 6th senior sister, what about you? We have always been sisters, Yang Lei said with a smile. You bastard, you dare to say anything. Aoi stood up and grabbed Yang Lei. The two of them laughed together. After cultivating for an entire night, Night Sorrow started refining pills early in the morning. Today's refining was much smoother than yesterday. The quality of the first furnace was low, and the second furnace was a spirit congealing pill that could be used. Night Sorrow, who had used up a lot of energy, took a break and chatted with Sikong Chuyu and Yang Lei. Sikong Chuyu and Yang Lei, one of them served him with a towel and the other with tea. Love go, little say, 13, no one can compare to your treatment, ha. After teaching the disciples for a while, Aoi, who came over, said with a smile. 6th senior sister, Night Sorrow is really working too hard. Sikong Chuyu said with a red face. That's right, 13 is too tired to refine pills, and so he needs to be taken care of. Yang Lei was very satisfied with her answer. Aoi smiled. 13, you don't specialize in alchemy, it's a waste of your alchemy aptitude. Alchemy is just an incidental research. Refining pills is also for my own use. Night Sorrow said with a smile. After refining spirit congealing pills for 4 or 5 days, Night Sorrow tried to refine a furnace of dragon bone forging pill. Although it was very hard, there were quite a few twists and turns in the middle, but fortunately he succeeded. After the refining was successful, Night Sorrow immediately returned to his room, ate one and began to cultivate. He wanted to feel the effect of the pill. After the dragon bone forging pill melted, it produced a very powerful energy. Night Sorrow controlled the energy to enter his arms and tried to absorb it. This was the first stage of the Myriad Tao Treasure Book's bone forging. As he cultivated, Night Sorrow's heart was filled with joy. The dragon bone forging pill was exactly the pill he needed. With the dragon bone forging pill, it was only a matter of time before he cultivated to the 4th stage of the Myriad Tao Treasure Book. After cultivating for a night, Night Sorrow got up and first cultivated the mysterious jade hands. Just after cultivating, Night Sorrow found that it was not suitable. The temperature in the room dropped and it was full of white cold air. Out of the room and into the yard, Night Sorrow did not eat and continued to refine the dragon bone forging pill. Aoi and the others did not disturb Night Sorrow. It was normal for cultivators to not eat for a few days. Night Sorrow refined 3 batches of pills in a row before resting. This is a mid-grade tier 3 pill. It is very difficult to refine. It is comparable to a high-grade tier 3 pill. 13, with your alchemy skills, it won't be long before you catch up to 6th senior sister, Aoi said. How can I compare to 6th senior sister? I don't specialize in alchemy, Night Sorrow said with a smile. In the next few days, Night Sorrow cultivated and refined pills. He gave the ice dragon blood to Aoi. Aoi wanted to use it to brew wine. While Night Sorrow was cultivating, the people from Tianji Tower came to the Medicine Valley. They were Lei Hua, Yin Shui, and Jiao Qing. Originally, Jiao Qing was enough. However, Lei Hua wanted to see Night Sorrow, so Yin Shui accompanied him. After arriving at the Medicine Valley, Jiao Qing took the resources to Beishan City, which was the city Yang Lei and Sikong Chuyu went to. Yin Shui and Lei Hua were drinking tea on the top floor of Tianji Tower in Danding City. I suspect that this is a batch of ice spirit blood essence. It's just that they didn't submit the mission in the same city. Wasn't the disciple of Medicine Valley, Yang Lei, who submitted the mission in Beishan City? It's too obvious, Lei Hua said. Looking at Night Sorrow's past missions, he has a strong personality and disdains the help of others. This time, there is no limit to the mission, so he should have done it himself, Yin Shui explained for Night Sorrow. Looking at the mission submission record in Danding City, there was Aoi, the 6th disciple of the Peak Master of Medicine Valley and Taishan Peak. However, this person appeared in Danding City not long ago. This means that the items she submitted for the mission were not hers. Someone helped her. This is related to Night Sorrow's trip to the Eastern Ice Field, Lei Hua said. Deputy Pavilion Master, what do you think of this mission? Yin Shui asked. She knew that this was related to the assessment of Night Sorrow's aptitude. It's enough that Night Sorrow went to the Eastern Ice Field. This is a mission that requires a lot of luck. Didn't the law enforcer say that Night Sorrow wanted to submit the mission again? Let's test him and see if he has more ice spirit blood essence. If he does, it means that the ice spirit blood essence in Medicine Valley came from him, Lei Hua said. Could it be that they submitted the mission separately in order to hide the identity of the person wearing the bamboo hat who has the gold token? Yin Shui thought for a moment and said, Updates X1, it should be. If he can hide the identity of the gold token, it means that he or she is a member of Tianji Tower. I can almost guess who he or she is, Lei Hua said with a smile. It should be, but we'd better help keep it a secret so that this little guy will have less trouble. Yin Shui thought for a moment and understood. The matter in Eastern Shen Domain could not be hidden from them. They knew why the Sikong clan and Jiyu clan came to Medicine Valley. Chapter 254. Genius 1 second. Remember Love Go/Small? We provide you with wonderful novels to read. After refining the ice jiao bones into pills, Night Sorrow and the others decided to go to Tianji Tower. Just like last time, Night Sorrow's group of 4 split into 2 groups and went to receive their mission rewards. When Night Sorrow and Aoi arrived at Tianji Tower, Enforcer Dong gave Aoi and Yang Lei their rewards. Each of them received a bottle of clear void pill, a void pill, and a rank 5 weapon, Thunder Cry Sword. UZ only B1 equals original version, square root comma, X others, N are all pirated copies, J with the points from this mission. Night Sorrow was not far from becoming a gold token holder. He estimated that he would only need to complete 1 mission. Just as Night Sorrow and Aoi were about to leave, Enforcer Dong called out to Night Sorrow, someone wants to see you. 6th Senior Sister, wait for me at 9th Senior Sister's residence. I will pick you up in a while, and then we will return to the Longquan courtyard, Night Sorrow said to Aoi. He knew that someone from the upper echelons of Tianji Tower might have come. 6th Senior Sister will wait for you there. Aoi nodded. She knew that Night Sorrow had something to do with Tianji Tower. She also knew that Night Sorrow was a member of Tianji Tower. They followed Enforcer Dong to the top floor of Tianji Tower. Enforcer Dong pointed at the door and left. This was not a place he could come into contact with. Night Sorrow directly opened the door. The moment Night Sorrow opened the door, someone threw a punch at Night Sorrow's chest. Night Sorrow instinctively raised his hand and threw out a killing fist. He even activated mysterious jade hands. Because the opponent's punch was too strong, he felt a sense of crisis. Bang! With a muffled thud, Night Sorrow stumbled back 4 steps before regaining his balance. He also saw what was going on. An old man with a silver mask and black and white hair had thrown a punch at him. The one who punched was Lei Hua. He wanted to test Night Sorrow's reaction speed, but now his right hand was emitting white cold air. It took a while for the cold air to dissipate. What the hell is this? Is it that overbearing? Lei Hua swung his right hand and muttered to himself. Night Sorrow, come and meet Senior Lei. Yin Shui stood up and introduced Night Sorrow. Junior Night Sorrow greets Senior Lei. Night Sorrow cupped his hands towards Lei Hua. Very good. Your reaction speed in the face of danger is very strong. Your combat power is also unquestionable. Come in and talk. Lei Hua was indeed very satisfied with Night Sorrow. Just now, he had used his late third order cultivation to punch Night Sorrow. He understood Night Sorrow's ability to fight above his level and knew that Night Sorrow would not be injured. However, he had to use his hidden cultivation to dissolve the mysterious jade spiritual energy. After Night Sorrow entered the room, he closed the door behind him. After completing the unrestricted mission, your points should not be far from gold rank, right? Yin Shui asked. After completing a few more missions next month, I should be close. Night Sorrow nodded. That's right. I heard from the enforcers that you still want to complete the unrestricted mission. This is against the rules. Yin Shui said to Night Sorrow. This time, he was the one in charge. Lei Hua was only here to take a look. Yes, I didn't know about this rule. Since it's against the rules, then I won't do it. Yi Shang knew that the Empyrean Terminus Tower knew everything about him. Enforcer Dong wouldn't hide anything either. It's not appropriate to continue completing missions to earn points. However, I can still make the decision to exchange them for resources. If you still want to continue, I can make the decision to reward you the same. Since there are no more points, I'll give you an extra void pill. What do you think? Yin Shui said. It seems that Tianjin Tower still needs the Ice Spirit Blood Essence. Since I'm a member of Tianjin Tower, it's okay to suffer a little loss. Night Sorrow picked out a small piece of Ice Spirit Blood Essence from the remaining 7 pieces and took it out. Yin Shui directly put away the Ice Spirit Blood Essence that exuded rich vitality. At the same time, she took out 2 bottles of pills and a thunder sword. Thank you, Chief Enforcer. Night Sorrow put away the pills and thunder sword. Then, do you still have the Ice Spirit Blood Essence? Lei Hua asked. Can I say that I don't have it? Night Sorrow asked rhetorically. Very well, I'm just asking. If Tianjin Tower needs it and can't give you the price, are you still willing to take out the Ice Spirit Blood Essence? Lei Hua asked. Although I'm a little unwilling, I can still do it. After all, Tianjin Tower has trained me. Night Sorrow thought about it seriously. After asking himself, he gave an answer. Your answer is very good. Tianjin Tower doesn't need it anymore. Let me ask you a question. You can answer or not. Just treat it as a chat between friends. 2 people have completed an unlimited mission in Beishan City. Is the Ice Spirit Blood Essence yours? Yin Shui asked. Then I'll tell you the truth. My 9th senior sister accompanied me on this mission. I found the Ice Spirit Blood Essence, but my 9th senior sister also has a share, Night Sorrow said. I see. In fact, you don't have to arrange 2 places to hand in the mission. Just take your patrol token and tell the law enforcement here that they are not allowed to leak the information. You can give such an order. This is the right of a direct subordinate of Tianjin Tower. Tianjin Tower has the obligation to help you and take care of the safety of the people around you, Lei Hua said to Night Sorrow. Yi Shang was stunned. Through Lei Hua's words, he knew that the Celestial Extreme Tower knew about Sikong Chuyu's matter. Don't worry. Nothing will happen, Yin Shui said with a smile. Thank you, Lords. Night Sorrow bowed to Lei Hua and Yin Shui gratefully. You're welcome. Is there anything else you need from Tianjin Tower? Lei Hua asked. I don't need it for the time being. Night Sorrow shook his head. The qi and blood in your body are tumbling, and the yang qi is rushing to the top. You've cultivated well, Lei Hua said as he glanced at Night Sorrow. Night Sorrow will continue to work hard, Night Sorrow said. Well, you can go back to your work. Lei Hua waved at Night Sorrow. After Night Sorrow left, Lei Hua took off his mask and sat opposite Yin Shui. How do you feel? Yin Shui asked. Do you still need to ask? I almost suffered a loss just now, Lei Hua said as he glanced at Yin Shui. This guy is definitely the first person in Eastern Profound Domain to enter the 2 stars Heavenly Pole assessment. Ho Yuan's face will be very interesting when the time comes, Yin Shui said with a smile. His weakness is that he started late, and his foundation is not as deep as the other 2. The combat skill he used just now is not recorded in any ancient books. Is it really strange? Lei Hua was still thinking about Night Sorrow's punch just now. Maybe he got some special inheritance. We all know that such an outstanding young man is blessed with luck, Yin Shui said. It's too overbearing, Lei Hua said as he looked at his right hand. He got so many weapons for his senior brother and sister. It's very good to have such a junior brother. The Medicine Valley is going to rise, Yin Shui said with some emotion. The battle between the Medicine Valley and the Golden Flame sect will happen sooner or later. The Medicine Valley is in the territory of the Golden Flame sect, which is also the sorrow of the Golden Flame sect, Lei Hua said. Chapter 255. Genius 1 second. Remember love/go/little? We provide you with wonderful novels to read. Bmost section M9J4*. We don't care about that. If they touch Night Sorrow, I will go directly to Su Huantian and Old Ghost Yan, Lei Hua said. Yin Shui smiled and didn't say anything. She knew that Lei Hua valued Night Sorrow very much. Otherwise, he wouldn't have said such words. Generally, even the Tianji Tower's patrol wouldn't be valued as much by Lei Hua. Night Sorrow was different. Night Sorrow had entered the Heaven Rank assessment and would soon get a 2-star evaluation. This was extremely important to Tianji Tower. In the Eastern Shen domain, very few people paid attention to black, but in other regions, there were still a lot of black. Perhaps there were too few people who opened the Heaven Rank assessment, so Tianji Tower attached great importance to it. Let's go to Beishan City and explain things there, then go back. There's no need to look here. This guy will enter the 2-star evaluation next month, Lei Hua said as he stood up and glanced at Yin Shui. Night Sorrow arrived at Yang Lei's mansion. He called for Aoi and drove the Tianyu to Longquan Courtyard. Did it go well? Boy asked. Very well. Tomorrow, we will return to Medicine Valley and give the weapon to eldest senior brother. In addition, I will give the void pill I obtained to senior brother, Night Sorrow said. Night Sorrow made a decision. At present, among his senior brothers and sisters, only Gong Xian and Yang Lei had entered the 5th rank. In the past, he had given Yang Lei a void pill. Now that Yang Lei had turned in the task and received another one, it was almost enough. Today, he obtained 2 void pills and gave them to Gong Xian. As for the other senior brothers, they could talk about it. After all, Gong Xian needed it very much at present. But that's your future resource, Aoi said. It's fine. I'm sorry, 6th senior sister. Eldest senior brother needs you the most right now, Night Sorrow said to Aoi. Why are you telling senior sister this? Truth be told, senior sister is happy that you can make this decision. Big senior brother has always been senior sister and senior brother's backer. Take these 2 bottles of medicinal pills. I had originally intended to give them to big senior brother, Qing Ji said with a smile. There's no need. 6th senior sister, you can keep it. I have more. Night Sorrow smiled and did not take the pill. Anyway, you have to keep enough resources for yourself, Aoi reminded Night Sorrow seriously. I know. Night Sorrow nodded. Half a day after the 2 returned to Longquan Courtyard, Yang Lei and Sikong Chuyu also returned. Their journey was long, but Yang Lei's green eagle was fast. Unlike Night Sorrow, she didn't have to talk to anyone, so they wasted some time. 13. Take a look at my thunder sword. After returning to the courtyard, Yang Lei waved her hand and released a ray of sword chi. As soon as the sword chi was released, thunder roared and the sword chi flew far away before disappearing. As long as ninth senior sister likes it. What about you, Chuyu? Night Sorrow looked at Sikong Chuyu and asked. I can use the thunder sword, but it's not very suitable for me. Why don't you keep it? Sikong Chuyu asked. I don't need it. Take it. If there's a chance, you can exchange it for a suitable one. Night Sorrow said with a smile. Then I won't stand on ceremony with you. Sikong Chuyu nodded. Night Sorrow then told Sikong Chuyu that Tianji Tower might know about her, but they were willing to keep it a secret. That's good then. There shouldn't be any danger. Sikong Chuyu said. Everyone discussed returning to the Medicine Valley together. Night Sorrow, Yang Lei, and Aoi went back. Sikong Chuyu stayed behind to guide Aoi and Yang Lei's disciples. Night Sorrow went back to collect the elixir resources. He wanted to collect the essence condensing elixir. He could use the essence condensing elixir after entering the third level of the essence condensing elixir. He didn't have this kind of elixir yet. Night Sorrow and the other two rode on flying beasts back to the Medicine Valley. They went directly to the Tai Xian main hall. In the Tai Xian side hall, they saw Gong Xian, Wu Qi, and Huanan. Come back if you want to. 13 has improved a lot. Gong Xian said with a smile. It's okay. Eldest senior brother, I have a gift for you. See if you like it. Night Sorrow took out the thunder sword and handed it to Gong Xian. Not bad. It looks good. Senior brother likes it. Gong Xian took the sword and put it beside him. He didn't care what kind of weapon it was. As long as it was a gift from his junior brother, he would like it. Eldest senior brother, you don't value 13's gift. Why don't you try it? Yang Lei looked at Gong Xian with dissatisfaction. Try it? Then I'll try it. Gong Xian smiled as he pulled out the sword and was about to swing it. Eldest senior brother, don't. You should try it outside. Yang Lei quickly stopped Gong Xian when she saw that he was about to test the sword in the main hall. Gong Xian glanced at Yang Lei, then took the thunder sword and walked out of the main hall. Then he released a sword aura. The thunder sword made a crisp sound and a sword aura flew out diagonally. What kind of weapon is that? Wu Qi asked in surprise. It's a rank 5 weapon, the thunder sword. It's a rank 5 high-grade weapon. 13, you're very generous, right? Aoi said with a smile. 13, thank you, eldest senior brother. Gong Xian said as he patted Night Sorrow's shoulder. I don't need it either. Here are 2 pills. Eldest senior brother, take them. Night Sorrow took out 2 void pills and handed them to Gong Xian. What kind of pills are these? You gave eldest senior brother such a big surprise as soon as you came back? Gong Xian asked as he took the pills. A void pill that can raise one's rank 5 cultivation base, Aoi said. Senior brother's, eldest senior brother is now rank 5. He needs pills the most. I can only give them to him. Night Sorrow looked at Wu Qi and Huanan apologetically. 13, you think too much. We're only happy for eldest senior brother. We're happy that you have such a junior brother, Huanan said. How about this? 1 pill is enough for me. Give your 9th senior sister 1. Gong Xian handed a void pill back to Night Sorrow. He handed it back to Night Sorrow so that he could give it to Yang Lei. Night Sorrow's things could not be given to others. I don't need them anymore. Yang Lei stopped Gong Xian. You don't need them anymore. 13's pills will be given to whoever needs them the most. Gong Xian made his decision. Then I don't care. Eldest senior brother, you can make the arrangements. Night Sorrow did not take out the void pill because it would not be appropriate to give Gong Xian anything else. 13, the weapons and pills you gave me are too suitable. How about this? Eldest senior brother will treat you to a drink tonight. Gong Xian said with a smile. If eldest senior brother treats me to a drink, I'll definitely drink. Night Sorrow nodded. We also need to get together. Let's call all our junior brothers over tonight, Wu Qi said with a smile. That's a good suggestion. However, 6th junior sister will have to spend some money. Huanan agreed. There's something else I want to say. It's also a good thing. I looked at Yang Lei. At this time, Yang Lei blushed. She knew what Okiji was going to say. Then, Aoi continued, our 9th junior sister is taken. Chapter 256. Genius 1 second. Remember Love Go/Little? Sure, Net provides you with wonderful novels to read. 9th junior sister thinks that 13 is very suitable, so she decided to wait for 13 to grow up. They will discuss this matter. Visit 13, you're amazing. You can even take down your 9th senior sister. I'm impressed. Huanen patted Night Sorrow's shoulder. 9th junior sister, you have good taste. I'm happy for you. Let's drink till we're drunk tonight. Gong Xian said happily. We'll have to tell Master about this later. He'll be very happy. Aoi said with a smile. All right, then I'll leave this matter to you. Gong Xian said. After that, everyone went their own ways. Without Night Sorrow and Yang Lei, there was nothing else for them to do. After thinking for a while, Night Sorrow rode Tianyu towards Danding Peak. He wanted to collect resources. He hadn't collected any for a few months. Also, he wanted to see if he could collect yuan condensing pills. If he couldn't, he would use his merit points to exchange for them. The elder in charge of distributing resources saw Night Sorrow and greeted him with a smile. Little 13, collecting resources? Yes, I want to use yuan condensing pills. Can I collect them? If not, I want to exchange for 2. Night Sorrow bowed to the elder that he didn't know. Of course. You're a heaven disciple. You can collect 3 pills. The elder said with a smile. Then I'll have to trouble elder to distribute the resources. Thank you. Night Sorrow originally wanted to collect 2 yuan condensing pills. However, he thought of something and decided to visit Qinzhen. He wanted to give Qinzhen the supreme grade yuan condensing pills that he didn't need, as well as the yuan breaking pills that he hadn't used. Besides that, he could also give the extra yuan condensing pills to Qinzhen. He knew that Qinzhen's treatment was low and he might not have enough resources. After collecting the resources, Night Sorrow rode Tianyu to North Pole Peak. He went to the valley where Yen Beiji was cultivating. He knew that Qinzhen would be here. Qinzhen was really practicing his swordsmanship in the valley. Night Sorrow. Seeing Night Sorrow, Qinzhen stopped cultivating and ran over to greet Night Sorrow. Looking at Qinzhen, Night Sorrow was very shocked. That was because Qinzhen was in the 5th level of element gathering tier, and had already caught up to Chu Ning, Tang Tian, and the others. It should be known that Qinzhen had started cultivating much later than them. Well, I'm out of wine. Do you have any? Night Sorrow asked with a smile. Of course. Qinzhen walked to the side of the blue stone, took out a jar of wine from his storage belt, and poured 2 bowls. Baidu search AI Go female sign Xiao, say, www.taichuxis. Night Sorrow picked up a bowl and drank it. Qinzhen looked at Night Sorrow and said, I heard about your situation from Grandmaster. You can't afford to offend Crepe Myrtle's woman. Just avoid her. I understand. I'll take care of it. I've been very busy lately, so I haven't been able to visit you. Night Sorrow looked at Qinzhen and said, he felt that with Qinzhen's personality, he wouldn't have many friends. He really should visit him more often. Let's not talk about this anymore. Drink. Qinzhen smiled at Night Sorrow and raised his bowl. After drinking for a while, Yishang took out the Supreme Grade Quintessence Gathering Pill, Quintessence Breakthrough Pill, and a Quintessence Solidifying Pill. Take these and use them. If you don't know how to use them, ask the Peak Master. AI Go Xiao say W Chu. Alright, I'll take them. Qinzhen didn't stand on ceremony. He didn't want to stand on ceremony with Night Sorrow either. After all, they were friends. I also have a storage ring here. Take it. Night Sorrow took out Su Chenbai's storage ring. Night Sorrow, if you treat me as a friend, you don't have to give me this. Qinzhen rejected him. Night Sorrow nodded. Then he understood something. Although Qinzhen didn't talk much, he was persistent. Come and find me when you have time. Night Sorrow planned to leave after drinking a jar of wine. First song 3. Be careful when you go out for training. Qinzhen reminded Night Sorrow. After leaving North Pole Peak, Night Sorrow returned to Danding Peak's bamboo grove. He was used to coming to Always Place. When Night Sorrow returned, he realized that Yu Yongyu and his senior brothers were all there. The Great Elder was there too. "Greetings, Master." "Greetings, Great Elder." Night Sorrow bowed to Yu Yongyu and the Great Elder. "Not bad. No need for formalities." Yu Yongyu nodded happily. He was very satisfied with Night Sorrow's cultivation progress. What made him happiest was that Night Sorrow and Yang Lei were together. 13. Keep the goodies within the family. "Well done," the Great Elder said with a smile. Then, Qing Ji's maidservant served the food and wine. Everyone sat down and started drinking. Yu Yongyu didn't have many rules, so everyone was able to relax. While Night Sorrow was drinking, Yan Beibei was chatting with Qin Zhen. "Zhen, you really have to thank Night Sorrow. He's been very good to you. The Supreme Grade Soul Gathering Pill is extremely precious. Even our Medicine Valley doesn't have it. This is the Soul Breaking Pill. It's used to break through the Soul Gathering Pill. This guy is really generous." Yan Beiji said as he looked at the pills that Qin Zhen brought over. "He even wanted to give me a storage ring. But I didn't think it was suitable, so I didn't take it. He didn't force me." Qin Zhen said, "You all did well. He knows when to stop. You also know that some things need to be done by yourself. If it wasn't for him, you would be the most outstanding among the new disciples. But don't worry. Just work hard." Yan Beiji said, "I will. I'm not jealous of him. I'll work hard because he's my friend. I'm not his opponent." Qin Zhen said, "Good friends are for life. Having one good friend is enough." Yan Beibei liked Qin Zhen's attitude. Night Sorrow drank until midnight. 13. Your eldest senior brother really needs to improve his strength. Let's not talk about it this time. You can't squander resources recklessly in the future. You'll need them in the future too. Yu Yongyu said to Night Sorrow. "I know. Master, what's your cultivation level now?" Night Sorrow asked. He had been wanting to ask this question for a long time. "You don't have to worry about me. I don't need the help of pills." "Congratulations, 13. Congratulations, old 9. Be good in the future. When I go back, you guys treat Sikong better." Yu Yongyu said with a smile. After that, Yu Yongyu and the Great Elder left. Then Gong Xian and the others left as well. 6th Senior Sister, I won't leave. I'll stay here. Yang Lei said. "It hasn't been long and you're already reluctant to leave 13. Alright. This place is no different from your own territory." Always smiled and also went to rest. Night Sorrow and Yang Lei enjoyed the night breeze in the small house in the bamboo forest. 9th Senior Sister, what's Master's cultivation level? Night Sorrow asked. Master has already reached the peak of the 8th level of the Void Inquiry stage. He can't use supplementary pills anymore. Yang Lei said. Night Sorrow nodded. He knew that at Yu Yangyu's level, he indeed did not need supplementary pills. What he needed was to stabilize his cultivation level and state of mind. Chapter 257. Genius 1 second. Remember love divided by go divided by little? We provide you with wonderful novels to read. I did. This time I was very shameless. I directly said that I liked you. Then I told her that I would respect her opinion. If she objected, then I would stand behind you silently and not disturb your life. Love go little, Chiang Lei said softly. In fact, she also felt very sad when she said those words. 9th Senior Sister, how could you wrong yourself like this? Night Sorrow said as he hugged Yang Lei. Senior Sister, you didn't do it before. Sikong was in front of you, so you had to respect her. Fortunately, she was very reasonable and didn't say anything that would embarrass you. Instead, she comforted you warmly and said that we would be a family in the future. I really like the word family. The three of us will be a family in the future. Yang Lei said as she leaned on Night Sorrow's shoulder. Yes, we are a family. Senior Sister, you should go back and rest. I plan to go to Danding Cliff. The moon was very bright tonight. Night Sorrow planned to go to Danding Cliff to cultivate. They could climb under the moon. No, I'll go tomorrow. Stay with me tonight, Yang Lei said in a low voice. Night Sorrow nodded. He understood that Yang Lei was going to talk to Sikong Chuyu. Without knowing the result, she felt very stressed. After staying in the bamboo forest for a while, the two of them went back to rest and cultivate. 13. I still want to rest with you. But if 6th senior sister finds out, I won't be able to face her. I'm going to rest. After hugging Night Sorrow, Yang Lei went to the guest room. Night Sorrow went back to the attic. He ate the dragon bone forging pill and began to cultivate. When they were eating breakfast together in the morning, Aoi said, "You weren't together yesterday." "It's okay. 6th senior sister won't know anything." 6th senior sister, this is what you said. I will remember it. Yang Lei glanced at Qing Ji and said. Aoi smiled. She was very happy to see Yang Lei happy. After eating, Aoi brought Night Sorrow and Yang Lei to her wine cellar. 13. Here's the 100 herb brew and azure blood brew. Over there is the green carrot leopard bone wine that was brewed a while ago. You can pack some. Then I'll take a little of each. Night Sorrow took 2 jars of each. 13. It's fine if you take a little more. I'll brew some flood dragon bone wine in a few days. It'll taste even better, Aoi said with a smile. You don't have to be so courteous with 6th senior sister. 6th senior sister just likes to do these things. Usually she just tastes the wine. Come, decorate some more. Yang Lei didn't hesitate to give Night Sorrow a few more jars of each. 9th junior sister, now you know how to protect your man. Not bad, Aoi said with a smile. Yang Lei smiled at Aoi and didn't refute. She liked this feeling. After leaving the wine cellar, Night Sorrow greeted the two and flew towards Danding Cliff on Tianyu. He wanted to go there to take the Yuan congealing pill and raise his true qi cultivation to the peak of level 3 core condensation realm. The Yuan congealing pill and the Yuan congealing pill were both pills that could quickly raise one's cultivation. The drawback was that it was easy to cause instability in one's cultivation. If he cultivated on Danding Cliff, this problem wouldn't exist. When Night Sorrow arrived, he saw Yu Yangyu talking with Elder Su. Disciple greets Master and Elder Su. Yi Shang bowed respectfully. Translator, Endless Fantasy Translation Editor, Endless Fantasy Translation, I knew you would be here soon, Elder Su said with a smile. For the past 100 years, Elder Su had been guarding this place. Some time ago, when he was about to die, Lu Chenyun came to guard Danding Cliff. After Elder Su broke through, he returned here again. Go! Yu Yangyu nodded at Night Sorrow. He bowed again and sent Tianyu to the side. I have the beast pill. Don't worry, I will take care of it for you, Elder Su said when he saw Night Sorrow was about to take the pill. Thank you, Elder. Night Sorrow nodded and went to climb the cliff. Valley Master, you have taken in a good disciple, Elder Su said when he saw Night Sorrow starting to climb the cliff. His eyes were full of praise. It's mainly because of this child's hard work. Thank you, Elder Su. I have to go cultivate too. After saying goodbye to Elder Su, Yu Yangyu's body flashed and disappeared from Danding Cliff. The Valley Master was the head of the Medicine Valley and had the right to use all the resources of the Medicine Valley. This was also the reason why the Supreme Elders and Elders of the Medicine Valley helped Yu Yangyu to the position of Valley Master. It was because Yu Yangyu had the chance to reach the Venerable Realm. Cultivating at Danding Cliff was one of the privileges of the Valley Master. After Night Sorrow climbed to 5,200 meters, he began to meditate. After his true qi stabilized, Night Sorrow ate the essence condensing pill and began to cultivate. While absorbing the medicinal power of the essence condensing pill, he also used the energy from Danding Cliff to refine his true qi. After 3 days, Night Sorrow completely refined the essence condensing pill and raised his cultivation to the peak of the 3rd level of the core formation realm. Night Sorrow stood up and thought for a moment. He decided to level up the heaven covering hand first. He could have practiced the King Kong hand long ago, but because he felt that it would consume too much true qi, he didn't. The heaven covering hand's strong points were its attack power and lethality. Its weakness was that it consumed a lot of true qi. If it couldn't kill the enemy, then it would consume a lot of true qi and would be defeated. After recalling the chant of the King Kong hand, Night Sorrow stretched out his right hand. A true qi vortex with a diameter of 2 feet appeared on his right hand. Then, Night Sorrow struck a palm at Danding Cliff. There was an explosion and a rumbling sound from Danding Cliff. Yi Shang was also forced back 2 steps. It was very powerful. Night Sorrow realized that the King Kong hand was at least twice as powerful as the Mountain Suppression hand. However, it also consumed a lot more true qi. Night Sorrow reflected on it for a moment. Then, he struck out 4 more times with the King Kong hand. His true qi could only strike out 2 times, and the Myriad Dao Tome could only support 3 times. After using up all his energy, Night Sorrow sat down to meditate. When his energy recovered, he continued to practice his battle skills. For the next 2 days, Night Sorrow spent his time like this. This gave a headache to the late Core Formation Realm disciples who came to practice. They didn't dare to approach Night Sorrow because they didn't know when Night Sorrow would start to attack the mountain walls. After cultivating for 2 days, Night Sorrow decided to level up his true qi. After 2 days of steady accumulation, he felt that he could break through to the 4th level of the Core Formation Realm. The cultivation of the people around him was much higher than him. This gave Night Sorrow a lot of motivation to cultivate. His senior brother and senior sister were at least at the 4th rank. The 2 women closest to him, Sikong Chuyu, had already reached the peak of the 4th rank, and Yang Lei was at the 5th rank. This made Night Sorrow's desire to pursue strength was very urgent. Ordinary true qi leveling up wasn't difficult for Night Sorrow. After 2 hours, Night Sorrow smoothly entered the 4th level of the Core Formation Realm. Then, he continued to stabilize his cultivation. Yi Shang decided to wait a little longer before trying to break the Danding Cliff record. Even if he rushed up a few hundred meters now, the effect wouldn't be obvious. Chapter 258. A Genius Remembers Love in 1 Second? We provide you with wonderful novels to read. After stabilizing his cultivation for 2 days, Night Sorrow went down the Danding Cliff. At the bottom of Pill Tripod Cliff, Yi Shang and Elder Su exchanged a few words. Don't you plan to go up? I think you can break the record of the core condensation stage. Elder Su said with a smile. As an elder of the Medicine Valley, he hoped to see the rise of the new generation of disciples. Maybe after a while. It's meaningless to surpass it now. Either I don't do it or I do it best, Night Sorrow said. That's true. When the time comes, you'll even take down the elixir list. Elder Su understood Night Sorrow's mentality. Just as Night Sorrow and Elder Su were talking, Lin Jingyi appeared on the flying beast. After thinking for a while, Night Sorrow nodded slightly to Lin Jingyi. When the incident happened, Night Sorrow was very angry. But since Lin Jingyi apologized in the Taishan Hall, he didn't feel bad. Seeing Night Sorrow nodding to her, Lin Jingyi was stunned for a moment. Then, she bowed slightly in return. Night Sorrow rode on the Tianyu and left. Level 4 Core Condensation Stage? Looking at Night Sorrow's back, Lin Jingyi muttered. Yes, the speed of his progress is unmatched by the previous disciples of the Medicine Valley. The most important thing is that his foundation is solid, Elder Su said. Lin Jingyi nodded. She could also see that Night Sorrow's cultivation was solid and not superficial. Then she also climbed the cliff to cultivate. Night Sorrow's rise also aroused her motivation to improve. Night Sorrow planned to go back to the Bamboo Grove house to say goodbye to his senior brothers and sisters before returning to Danding City. One reason was that Sikong Chuyu was there. In addition, it was almost the beginning of the month. He wanted to continue clearing out missions and upgrade his mission plate to gold. Then, his weight in Tianji Tower would increase again. In the Bamboo Grove, Night Sorrow saw Aoi and Yang Lei. 4th level of the core condensation stage, not bad. Yang Lei said with a smile. Yes, I ate a yuan congealing pill, Night Sorrow said. It's fine as long as your foundation is stable, Aoi said. Night Sorrow nodded. I've always taken 2 pills to increase my level at every level, so there shouldn't be any problems with my foundation. What do you plan to do next? Yang Lei asked. Back to the Dragon Spring Courtyard. 9th Senior Sister, are you coming back with me? What about you, 6th Senior Sister? Night Sorrow asked. Of course I'll go back with you. If I don't watch you, what if you do something stupid? Yang Lei said with a smile. I have to go there too. There are so many disciples there. I can't just leave them there. Don't worry, I won't hold you back, Aoi said with a smile. Then the three of them rode their flying beasts to Danding City. Night Sorrow went to Tianji Tower and found Enforcer Dong. Night Sorrow, it's not the beginning of the month yet, Enforcer Dong said in surprise when he saw Night Sorrow. I'll come again at the beginning of the month. Today, I'm here for something else. This is the Thunder Sword, the reward of an unrestricted mission. This attribute doesn't suit me. Can I apply to change it to a water attribute one? If you need any compensation, I can give it to you, Night Sorrow said as he took out the Thunder Sword he exchanged from Lei Hua and Yin Shui. I'm not sure about this. I can ask the higher-ups, Enforcer Dong nodded and said. Okay, if there's any progress, send the news to the City Lord's mansion. Someone will inform me. Night Sorrow handed his Thunder Sword to Enforcer Dong and left Tianji Tower. Night Sorrow wanted to prepare a suitable weapon for Sikong Chuyu. He had asked and found out that Sikong Chuyu had a water attribute. Cultivators were born with an attribute, but it could only be unlocked when they reached rank 4. Different attributes determined their future development path. For example, Yang Lei had a very rare thunder attribute. She could cultivate thunder attribute combat skills with half the effort. The wind and thunder sword technique was suitable for her. Gong Xian had a wind attribute. He could also cultivate the wind and thunder sword technique, but the effect was not as good as Yang Lei's. Sikong Chuyu had a water attribute. Weapons and combat skills that used water attribute were much more powerful. After rank 4, the more powerful one's attribute talent was, the more powerful one's combat power would be. After settling the matter of the weapon in Tianji Tower, Night Sorrow rushed to the Longquan Courtyard. When they arrived at Danding City, Yang Lei and Qing Ji went to Longquan Courtyard first. Yi Shang had entered the city to handle this matter, so he didn't walk all the way. After returning to the Dragon Spring Courtyard and handing Tianyu over to Little Six, Yi Shang went to the courtyard's main hall. Aoi, Yang Lei, and Sikong Chuyu were chatting. Sit down. Seeing Night Sorrow came back, Yang Lei moved a bit and gave up the seat next to Sikong Chuyu. Night Sorrow smiled and sat down. After knowing Sikong Chuyu's generosity, he felt a lot more at ease. In the next few days, Night Sorrow cultivated steadily. Because there was still more than half a year before the alternate space would open. The higher the cultivation of the core condensation stage, the more advantages he would have when he went in. One day, while Night Sorrow was cultivating the Killing Fist technique, Yang Lei came back riding the Green Condor. She didn't look very good. Ninth Senior Sister, what happened? Night Sorrow wiped his sweat and asked. The Qingshui sect planned to move a large number of people. Our Medicine Valley sent people to stop them. There was a fight. The Golden Flame sect also joined the fight. Yuan Tai, the peak master of Wangyun Peak, was injured. However, the Qingshui sect didn't succeed. This disturbance is going to be big. Yang Lei said. The Golden Flame sect is going too far. Are they going to interfere in the affairs of our Medicine Valley? Aoi said coldly. Qi Tianhua, the elder of the Golden Flame sect, said that the Medicine Valley can't stop them. The Golden Flame sect will support the Qingshui sect. The Venerable will come soon. Yang Lei said. They are bullying the Venerable of our Medicine Valley because we have just advanced. We are not as strong as their Venerable. Night Sorrow asked. That's what they mean. Grand Elder Hua can't control the 8-Dragon Cauldron completely. If he leaves the Medicine Valley without a spiritual weapon to protect himself, he will be easily killed by the veteran Venerables. This is their strategy. Yang Lei said. What's the decision of the sect? Night Sorrow knew that the Medicine Valley was in a passive position. It was mainly a fight between the Venerables. The new Venerables of the Medicine Valley were at a disadvantage in this aspect. Well, I don't know. Let's wait for the decision of the sect. It's so disgusting. Yang Lei was a little annoyed. Ninth Senior Sister, don't be angry. There is no dead end. There is always a loophole. Sikong Chuyu said with a smile. Isn't this a dead end? The Venerables of the Medicine Valley can't go to the Qingshui sect. How can they stop them? Yang Lei said. Of course it's not a dead end. It's easy to solve. I just don't know if the higher-ups of the Medicine Valley can make this decision. Sikong Chuyu said. Plus update D fastest up CQ. I don't understand. Yang Lei shook her head. Aoi also shook her head. She couldn't think of a solution. The current situation was too passive. If the Venerables couldn't fight, they wouldn't be able to stop the Qingshui sect from moving. Let's not look at the gains and losses. The Venerables and Masters of the Medicine Valley can go to deal with the forces of the Golden Flame sect in other areas. If you attack my area, I will attack yours. You fight yours and I will fight mine. There's no need to follow their rhythm, Sikong Chuyu said. Chapter 259. Genius remembers love in 1 second/small? We provide you with wonderful novels to read. Ninth senior sister, come back early, Sikong Chuyu said to Yang Lei. All right, I'll go back and inform Master about this method, and then I'll come back. Chuyu, you might be able to solve a big problem. Yang Lei nodded to Sikong Chuyu. Riding on the green condor, Yang Lei rushed towards Danding Peak. Night Sorrow had nothing to do and decided to continue cultivating. However, Chioshu came over. Young Master, Tianji Tower has sent a message to the City Lord's mansion, saying that they would like to invite Young Master over. Chioshu bowed to Night Sorrow and said, Okay, I'll go right away. Night Sorrow calculated the time and knew that there might be news about the Thunder Sword. In addition, it was almost the beginning of the month. Night Sorrow had originally planned to go to Tianji Tower at the beginning of the month. Riding the Tianyu, Night Sorrow arrived at Tianji Tower. This was the advantage of having the City Lord's senior sister. In the past, it would take him more than 2 hours to get from the city gate to Tianji Tower by beast carriage. Now that he could fly on a demonic beast, the speed was much faster. The staff of Tianji Tower politely led Night Sorrow to a private room upstairs. This was ordered by Enforcer Dong. When Night Sorrow came, they must receive him with high standards. After Night Sorrow sat down and drank a cup of tea, Enforcer Dong came over with a mahogany box in his hand. Sitting in front of Night Sorrow, Enforcer Dong opened the box. This is the Clearwater Sword, a water-attributed high-rank 5 weapon. It's not as valuable as the Thunder Cry Sword. The Thunder Cry Sword is a rare attributed weapon, but in reality, there's a huge demand for water-attributed weapons, so the higher-ups decided to cancel it out. They won't give you any compensation, nor do they want your compensation. Baidu search, love, go, shao, say, www.itrus.com. Very good. Sorry to trouble you, Enforcer Dong. Night Sorrow put the box into his storage ring and said, It's nothing. If you have any problems, you can come to me at any time. Apart from our friendship, the higher-ups have also given me instructions, Enforcer Dong said. Okay, then I'll go back first. I'll come back the day after tomorrow. Night Sorrow stood up and said, The day after tomorrow was the beginning of the month, so he had to continue with his quest. The situation is so tense. Do you plan to continue with the mission? Enforcer Dong asked. My cultivation base is too low. I can't help much at the moment. I should focus on my cultivation, Night Sorrow said. That's right. That's the truth. Right now, you can't participate in this battle. Enforcer Dong nodded. Night Sorrow drove Tianyu back to Longquan Courtyard. In the training field, Night Sorrow saw Sikong Chuyu practicing swordsmanship. Her slender and graceful figure swayed in the training field. Her black hair danced with the breeze. It was a moving picture. You're back. Seeing Night Sorrow return, Sikong Chuyu came to Night Sorrow's side. Yes. I have something good for you. Night Sorrow took out the mahogany box from his storage ring and handed it to Sikong Chuyu. What is it? Let me see. Aoi came from the side with a rattan. She had just finished teaching the third-generation disciples. At this time, Sikong Chuyu opened the mahogany box. A simple and unadorned long sword lay quietly in the box. Sikong Chuyu grabbed the long sword and directly pulled it out. She flicked the long sword that was shining with a green light with her finger. With a soft hum, the Clearwater Sword bounced in Sikong Chuyu's hand. Where did you get a water attribute long sword? Sikong Chuyu asked happily. I exchanged for it with the Thunder Cry sword. I exchanged it with the Empyrean Tower for a water elemental longsword. It should suit you, Night Sorrow said. Suitable, very suitable. Sikong Chuyu waved the Clearwater sword and said, That's good. Night Sorrow nodded. Sixth senior sister, what about you? Are the attributes suitable? Night Sorrow looked at Aoi and asked, We'll talk about mine in the future. You can't exchange it with Tianji Tower anymore. If it's your own business, then Tianjin Tower won't mind. If you keep using your value in Tianjin Tower to fight for benefits for others, people will dislike you. Anyway, I'm not in a hurry, Aoi said with a smile. Since Aoi said so, Night Sorrow didn't force her. He knew that it wouldn't be appropriate for him to keep going to Tianjin Tower. At night Yang Lei came back. Ninth junior sister, what's the sex decision? Boyest. When I came back, the elders and master were discussing this matter in a meeting. I told them about Sikong Chuyu's idea and they were immediately enlightened. They've already split into groups to act. Yang Lei said with a smile. That's good. Aoi nodded. Master and Great Elder agree with this idea. They think that if the Golden Flame sect wants to fight, then we'll fight in Medicine Valley. If the Golden Flame sect's Venerable comes out, then we'll retreat and continue to fight. Let's see who can afford to play. Yang Lei said with a smile. Well, not bad. Then I'll continue with my mission. Night Sorrow said. Master asked whose idea it was, and I said it was Sikong's idea. Master and Great Elder asked me to express their gratitude to Sikong on their behalf, Yang Lei said. After everyone ate, Night Sorrow practiced spear and fist techniques in the training field for a while before he went to meditate and cultivate the Sage Cauldron Scripture and the Myriad Tao Tome. Night Sorrow always had a question in his mind. The highest level of cultivation on the continent was the 7th level, but there were 2 more levels after the 7th level of the Myriad Tao Tome. What level would it be? With such a question, Night Sorrow was particularly motivated to cultivate. After cultivating for a night, Night Sorrow woke up early and planned to go to Tianji Tower to accept a mission. He wanted to upgrade the token to the highest level in one go. Night Sorrow, I'll go with you. It's so chaotic outside. Sikong Chuyu was a little worried about Night Sorrow's safety. I'll go too. How about this? 13, you go and accept the mission, then come back to pick us up. Let's just take it as a walk. Yang Lei said. She was also worried about Night Sorrow's safety. After thinking for a while, Night Sorrow agreed. He knew that the 2 girls meant well. Riding on the Tianyu, Night Sorrow arrived at Tianji Tower. When they saw Night Sorrow, the disciples of the Medicine Valley and individual cultivators who were waiting outside Tianji Tower to accept missions felt helpless. This was because Night Sorrow's attitude towards missions was to wipe them out. Everyone, I'm sorry. This is the last time I'm doing a mission like this. I won't hold you up in the future. Night Sorrow cupped his fists at the people waiting and expressed his apology. On the internet, one had to know that most of the people who wanted to accept the mission were disciples of the Medicine Valley. In addition, individual cultivators mingled in Danding City. They also had feelings for the Medicine Valley. Night Sorrow didn't want to make them feel uncomfortable. Uncle Master, you're too polite. We're fine. A disciple of the Medicine Valley's Yuan ranking said, Lord Knight, you're too polite. The individual cultivators also began to speak. They were originally a little unhappy, but they also knew that Night Sorrow relied on his strength to complete the mission. Now that they heard Night Sorrow's words, they felt relieved. Chapter 260. A Genius Remembers Love in 1 Second? We provide you with wonderful novels to read. Seeing Night Sorrow, Enforcer Dong walked to Night Sorrow with the mission list. Night Sorrow said to Enforcer Dong, I'll take some missions. It's the same as before. Don't waste time and don't have high difficulty. I'll take a few missions. Enforcer Dong nodded and called the staff to record the task for Night Sorrow. X Forever 9 free and charge NCJ little say A. After Night Sorrow chose 5 missions, Enforcer Dong said, these 5 missions are enough to raise your token from the silver rank to the gold rank. Then these 5. Night Sorrow took the list recorded by the staff, cupped his hands to Enforcer Dong, and then left Tianji Tower. Letting the staff continue to receive the cultivators who were on their missions, Enforcer Dong returned to his room to write a letter. He had to report all the information about Night Sorrow as soon as possible. Riding the Tianyu, Night Sorrow returned to the Longquan courtyard, picked up Yang Lei and Sikong Chuyu, and began to do the quest. A silver mission wasn't difficult for Yi Shang. As long as it wasn't a rank 4 cultivator or a rank 4 demonic beast, Yi Shang could kill them all. Even a peak rank 3 demonic beast wouldn't be able to withstand Yi Shang's various trump cards. The process of doing quests was actually a process of sightseeing. The three of them were getting along better and better. Baidu search AI go female sign Xiao, say, www.taichuxis. Since he was not in a hurry, Night Sorrow spent half a month to complete the 5 silver missions. Not bad. You completed the quest while playing. Yang Lei was in a good mood. After days and nights together, she and Sikong Chuyu got along very well. She knew that there would be no problems in the future. We have to go back. The Medicine Valley and Golden Flame sect are at war. We need to know the situation as soon as possible, Sikong Chuyu said. Night Sorrow agreed with Sikong Chuyu's idea. He was a little worried that Gong Xian would be fighting this time. The three of them rode their flying demonic beasts back to Danding City. Before they got close to the city, Sikong Chuyu rode Night Sorrow's Tianyu back to Longquan courtyard. Night Sorrow and Yang Lei arrived in front of the City Lord Mansion on the Green Condor. Yang Lei had something to deal with, and Night Sorrow went to Tianji Tower to hand in the quest. Very smoothly, Night Sorrow upgraded the silver token to gold rank. He also received quite a lot of quest rewards. With the golden token in hand, Night Sorrow arrived at the City Lord's mansion. In the City Lord's mansion, Yang Lei sat on the City Lord's chair and listened to the report from her subordinates. Night Sorrow stood aside and listened for a while. He also understood that after the Medicine Valley destroyed several branches of the Golden Flame sect, the Golden Flame sect did not send anyone to the Green Water sect anymore. The Medicine Valley was not afraid of the Golden Flame sect. Yen Beibei took the order and led people to surround the Golden Flame sect. This was a fight to the death. The Golden Flame sect's venerable could come and kill them, and the Medicine Valley could give them a peak master to kill. If they dared to kill them, the Medicine Valley would be even more ruthless and carry out a sharper attack on the Golden Flame sect's territory. In the main hall of the Golden Flame sect, Su Huantian sat on the main seat. Spreading Tianyi was furious. The Medicine Valley is courting death. They are courting death. Spreading Tianyi roared. Don't be angry. Can anger solve the problem? Su Huantian frowned. He was not satisfied with Spreading Tianyi's state. Venerable, how do you think we should deal with the current situation? Spreading Tianyi asked. You're asking me? I can go to the Qingshui sect's territory now and kill everyone in the Medicine Valley, but the Medicine Valley will attack the other territories of the Golden Flame sect. The Golden Flame sect will pay a greater price. I don't understand. The Medicine Valley has already rebounded strongly, but you still provoke them for a small Qingshui sect. Haven't you thought about how to deal with the aftermath? Su Huantian roared at Spreading Tianyi. Su Huantian did not know about this before. If he knew, he would not allow it because Hua Yunpeng was difficult to kill in the Medicine Valley's territory. As long as they could not do this, they could not destroy the Medicine Valley. According to the character of the Medicine Valley, as long as the Golden Flame sect invaded, they would definitely fight back fiercely. Spreading Tianyi supported the Qingshui sect and persuaded them to move. This was a slap to the Medicine Valley's face. How could the Medicine Valley not fight back? Spreading Tianyi's face turned red. He did not know how to deal with it. The Golden Flame sect was in a difficult position now. You guys discuss and tell me the result. If you can't deal with it well, you don't have to be the deputy sect master anymore. Su Huantian flung his sleeves and left the hall. He was very angry. The situation was obvious during the celebration of the Medicine Valley's venerable. How could he not be angry when Spreading Tianyi provoked the Medicine Valley when he was not sure? Spreading Tianyi's face was also red. At this time, the elders and higher-ups of the Golden Flame sect were all present. Su Huantian's words made him lose face. Spreading Tianyi also understood that Su Huantian was dissatisfied with him for other reasons. It was because Su Chunbai was killed. Su Chunfeng and Su Huantian reported about Su Chunbai's death. Spreading Tianyi kept stopping Su Chunbai from returning to the Golden Flame sect, which led to Su Chunbai's death. This matter made Su Huantian very angry. After all, Su Chunbai was already a late-stage Fifth Order. He would have a bright future if he returned to the Golden Flame sect. He would be the future pillar of the Su family. The strongest in the Golden Flame sect were the Su and Zhan families, followed by the Qi family. Currently, the Golden Flame sect had two venerables. One was Su Huantian of the Su family, and the other was from the Zhan family. The position of sect master and deputy sect master was occupied by each family. There was competition between them. The Su family had lost a good seedling, so it would be strange if Su Huantian did not have any complaints about spreading Tianyi. After spreading Tianyi and the other elders discussed, they came to a conclusion. The Golden Flame sect could only compromise. Under the situation where they could not take down the Medicine Valley, the Medicine Valley's disciples would be scattered, which would be a huge blow to the Golden Flame sect. The Golden Flame sect could not afford to fight to the death. However, the Golden Flame sect also decided to scatter and enter the Medicine Valley area, ready to attack at any time. The Golden Flame sect did not make any moves, but the Medicine Valley made a move. Yu Yangyu of the Medicine Valley led a group of people to kill all the higher-ups of the Green Water sect who instigated the rebellion, completely eliminating this malignant tumor. Su Chunbai, the spy of the Golden Flame sect in the Medicine Valley, was removed. However, there were still people in the Medicine Valley in the Golden Flame sect. The Medicine Valley was very clear about the Golden Flame sect's actions and thoughts. In other words, the situation has stabilized again? Yang Lei looked at Ao Yushan and asked. You can't say that. The Valley Master has ordered us to tighten our defense. The Golden Flame sect is also using this tactic, Ao Yushan said. Send out all the people in the city. Mobilize all the city guards as well. If you see any suspicious movements, capture them and kill them on the spot, Yang Lei ordered. Then Bai Qingshan and Ao Yushan went out to do their work. The bastards of the Golden Flame sect don't let people rest. 13. When you are strong enough, go and challenge the Golden Flame sect. If there are any good-looking girls, I don't mind if you snatch them back, Yang Lei said while knocking on the armrest of the chair. Don't. I'm happy enough to have you and Chu Yu, Night Sorrow said with a smile. Do you believe it? I don't believe it, Yang Lei looked at Night Sorrow and said with a smile. Night Sorrow was speechless and did not know how to explain it. Have you advanced to the gold token? Yang Lei changed the topic. Night Sorrow took out the gold token and showed it to Yang Lei. Chapter 261. Genius Remembering Love in 1 Second Go? We provide you with wonderful novels to read. Wait until I reach level 5 or level 6 before I go. It may be difficult for me to take down Lin Tianjue now, Night Sorrow said. Indeed, you have the strength to kill a level 3 peak monster, but monsters are different from humans and have limited wisdom. If Lin Tianjue fights you head-on, he won't be your opponent. But if you fight with him and compete in speed, your low cultivation will be at a disadvantage, Yang Lei said. I understand this, so I won't go to the elixir list for the time being. I plan to improve my cultivation first and then compete for the elixir list. Night Sorrow said his decision. Chuyu and I both support you, Yang Lei said with a smile. Thank you, ninth senior sister. Thank you. Night Sorrow was a little moved. These two women really wanted him to stand up. The two asked around in the city lord's mansion and drank tea for a while before returning to the Dragon Spring courtyard. Night Sorrow didn't think about the task now. He just needed to improve his cultivation. In addition, he planned to return to Danding Cliff later. It was too chaotic recently. If there was any news, he would know at the Dragon Spring courtyard immediately. The next few days were quiet. The Golden Flame sect did not do anything, but everyone knew that the Golden Flame sect would not give up so easily. After all, the Medicine Valley had attacked several of their branches. Needless to say, they had suffered a huge loss and had been slapped in the face. Night Sorrow and the others cultivated quietly. Not at Danding Cliff, Night Sorrow took the best quality spirit congealing pill and dragon bone forging pill, so his cultivation speed wasn't slow. In a room in the headquarters of Tianji Tower in Dongxian City, Lei Hui, Yin Shui, and Ho Yuan sat at a tea table. Elder Ho, there's nothing to say this time, right? Just say one word, will you add a star or not? Yin Shui looked at Ho Yuan and asked. You make it sound like I'm a narrow-minded person. I have no objection to adding a star. Ho Yuan glanced at the materials on the table and said, it was about Night Sorrow. Okay, then it's settled. Send it to the headquarters, Lei Hui said. In the absence of the Tianji Tower's Eastern Xian region pavilion master, the important matters were decided by the three of them. On the black screen, the information would be sent to the headquarters of Tianji Tower for filing. That was because if a black person was recruited, they would be patrolling the Tianji Tower. Needless to say, the members who had activated the Heavenly Fate assessment were all the same. The headquarters had to know about them. Every step of their growth would be recorded in detail. Even their personality, every word, and every action would be recorded. Tianji Tower would analyze and judge the use of future personnel based on this information. For example, if a person had a dark personality and did things unscrupulously, then they might work in the law enforcement hall or the hunting hall in the future. If they did things in a grand manner, then they might be high-ranking management in the future. Don't look at me with those weird eyes. I also like this kid. The truth is the truth. No one can erase his excellence. Ho Yuan took a sip of tea and said, actually, what puzzles me the most is, where did this guy get so much ice spirit blood essence? I'm sure he still has more, Lei Hui said. Deputy Pavilion Master, how did you come to such a conclusion? Ho Yuan asked. Looking at the size of the ice spirit blood essence, he took out a small one at the beginning. When he exchanged it with me and Protector Silver Snow, he took out a larger one. At that time, he was distracted. If I'm not wrong, he was picking out smaller ones for us. Lei Hui thought for a moment and said, that judgment should be correct. I just don't understand. It's as difficult as ascending to the heavens for others to obtain a piece of ice spirit blood essence, but it's as easy as picking up a carrot for him? Yin Shui asked. There's also his actual combat prowess. If it weren't for the fact that I'm afraid it'll be difficult to convince the masses, I would really propose to give him a 3-star evaluation. That day, when we exchanged a punch, I used the amount of true energy at the peak of the 3rd step. He only took a few steps back, and there wasn't any problem at all. Lei Hui opened his mouth and said, that's right, Lei Hui said. If the Pavilion Branch Pavilion Master wants to give him a 3-star evaluation, Ho Yuan, have no objections. After all, an early stage of the 3rd step can withstand the Pavilion Branch Pavilion Master's punch without getting injured. It's proof of his excellence, Ho Yuan said. No need. I don't want the headquarters to look at our Eastern Profound region with special eyes. Lei Hui shook his head. The first time I met him, he said something very honest, but it also contained a very deep philosophy. Whether others admit it or not, it's still gold, Yin Shui said with a smile. Since you've said so, I really want to meet this little guy. Isn't the Medicine Valley and Golden Flame sect making a big fuss? I'll go and take a look. Ho Yuan had an idea. What are they making a fuss about? Golden Flame sect is causing trouble now. Those people from the Medicine Valley will definitely bite back. If Golden Flame sect doesn't dare to fight to the death, they will definitely suffer. Yin Shui suddenly said. She was very clear about the situation in Golden Flame sect's territory. The Medicine Valley is too far away from the Holy Light sect. Otherwise, I can help to pull some strings and be an ally or something. I like their boldness. Ho Yuan said with a smile. With his current level, shouldn't we reconsider the resources that should be given to him? Yin Shui said. You guys can decide. I don't know if those two who entered the space crack can gain anything. If they can perfectly complete the task, our Eastern Profound region will have 3 candidates for the 2 stars heavenly exam. Anyway, I'll go to the Medicine Valley to take a look. Ho Yuan stood up and said, what are you in a hurry for? We'll discuss the resources and you can just bring them over. Lei Hui glanced at Ho Yuan and said, it's nothing more than elixirs. We've already given him elixirs before the 4th step. If he enters the 2 stars heavenly exam, we can make him a custom-made weapon of the upper grade of the 5th step. But he's only at the 3rd step now. Isn't it too early? Ho Yuan sat down again. Forever. 64 Free to watch small talk Z. That's true. The other cultivation resources can only be obtained after the 4th step. The resources of our Tianji Tower will only be more advantageous than the other forces after the 4th step. Remember this. When the time comes, we'll calculate everything together. Lei Hua thought for a while and also felt that he couldn't give Night Sorrow any help at the moment. Night Sorrow cultivated his true qi and the myriad Tao scripture at night. During the day, he practiced the destruction-killing fist, the wind-chasing spear technique and the dragon leap steps, or rather, the dragon soaring steps. The dragon soaring 9 heavens movement technique had 3 stages. The first stage was the dragon leap steps, which corresponded to the qi refining and essence gathering realms. The second stage was the dragon soaring steps, which corresponded to the core condensation and spirit severing realms. Night Sorrow had been in the core condensation realm for some time. Now that he had time, he cultivated the movement technique to the second stage, the dragon soaring steps. As for the 3rd stage, the dragon soaring steps, it was for the void inquiry stage and the vast heaven realm. When Yang Lei had nothing to do, she would spar with Night Sorrow. However, Night Sorrow didn't use the Vajra hands and profound jade hands. The Vajra hands, which used the profound jade hands as the foundation, had great destructive power. Night Sorrow was also worried that he might hurt Yang Lei. The intensity of their sparring sessions had decreased. To be exact, the duration of their sparring sessions had shortened. Night Sorrow let Yang Lei attack with all her might to give him more pressure. Night Sorrow didn't want Yang Lei to be too tired. After Ho Yuan arrived at Danding City, he found out where Night Sorrow was staying. Night Sorrow hadn't come out for a long time. Ho Yuan felt a headache coming on. He couldn't keep waiting. Chapter 262. A Genius Remembers Love in 1 Second? We provide you with wonderful novels to read. Ho Yuan stood beside Qingshui Lake and detected that Night Sorrow was practicing his spear art. After observing for a while, Ho Yuan waved his arm and grabbed towards Night Sorrow. Following Ho Yuan's action, the energy around Night Sorrow's body was sucked towards Skywater Lake. This was Ho Yuan's ability to make Night Sorrow alert without alerting Yang Lei, Sikong Chuyu, and the others. Feeling that the energy around him was unstable, Yishan lifted his reincarnation spear and tapped his foot on the ground, approaching the celestial water lake. When he arrived at Skywater Lake, Night Sorrow saw Ho Yuan, who was wearing a black robe. Night Sorrow swung his reincarnation spear behind him and prepared for battle. He was worried that Ho Yuan was from the Golden Flame sect and knew that he was an expert. Ho Yuan's aura was stronger than Su Huandu's, but he didn't feel any killing intent. Therefore, Ho Yuan sized Night Sorrow up and didn't say anything. "Who are you?" Night Sorrow asked. "Shouldn't you call him Senior?" Ho Yuan was a bit puzzled. Yi Shan was very guarded. "If you aren't from the Golden Flame sect, then I can call you Senior and treat you to a drink. But if you are from the Golden Flame sect, then we have nothing to talk about." Night Sorrow looked at Ho Yuan and said, "Is there someone like me in the Golden Flame sect? Don't compare me to them." Ho Yuan flicked the non-existent dust off his robe and looked at Night Sorrow. "Junior has been impolite." Night Sorrow held his spear with both hands and cupped his hands towards Ho Yuan. "I heard others bragging about you, so I came to take a look. Not bad. You have a steady mind. After all, I am your senior. Do you need any help?" Ho Yuan looked at Night Sorrow and asked. In the future, they would both be from the Tianji Tower. As a senior, it was only right for him to give some gifts. "Senior, thank you for your kindness, but I don't need it." Night Sorrow said, "Is there really no one who needs help? For example, killing the 2 venerables of the Golden Flame sect?" Ho Yuan looked at Night Sorrow and said, "That's good. If it's possible, then let's destroy these 2 old ghosts." After thinking about it, Night Sorrow also planned to probe Ho Yuan's bottom line. "Ahem. I said for example. They didn't provoke me or you. It's not good to kill them directly. Ho Yuan coughed twice. An update / new fastest are previous. Senior is from the Celestial Terminus Tower? A light flashed in Yishang's mind as he seemed to understand something. Baidu search AI go female sign Xiao, say, www.taichuexis.com, very smart. I heard Yin Shui speak highly of you, so I came to take a look. You also know that Tianji Tower doesn't participate in local hegemony. Tianjin Tower won't interfere in the conflict between the Golden Flame sect and the Medicine Valley. Of course, if you touch the core members of Tianjin Tower, then you don't need to be polite. Ho Yuan looked at Night Sorrow in shock. Night Sorrow's mind was so clear that he could analyze the situation with just a few words. I understand. Would you like to have a drink at my place? Night Sorrow invited Ho Yuan after knowing his origin. No, I don't want others to know my whereabouts and identity, Ho Yuan said. Night Sorrow understands. Night Sorrow knew that the whereabouts of the people of Tianjin Tower were very mysterious and didn't want others to know. AI, go Xiao, say, Ho Yuan looked at Yishang and said, the Golden Flame sect's people aren't venerables. They can't stay in Danding City, and they can't kill you. If they are venerables, then take out your patrol medallion. If they dare to kill you, then they must be tired of living. However, you have to remember that the Extreme Heaven Tower protects the core members of the sect. If you are killed by someone of the same level as you, then you can only say that you are not strong enough. The Extreme Heaven Tower will not avenge trash. I understand. Night Sorrow nodded. That's it then. I don't know what kind of help you need. If you need anything, just go to the Celestial Terminus Tower branch and let me know. Don't have any misgivings. Keep my visit a secret. Ho Yuan instructed and left in a flash. Night Sorrow stood by Skywater Lake for a long time without moving. He used to think that Stage 4 was a master, but now he had seen too many masters. Why you here? Sikong Chu came to Night Sorrow's side. Yes, I'm here to get some fresh air. Night Sorrow smiled. He didn't want to talk about some things because he didn't want Sikong Chuyu and Yang Lei to worry. After returning to the courtyard, Night Sorrow didn't continue cultivating. His mind was in a mess. The current situation made his thoughts unclear. While drinking tea with Sikong Chuyu, Yang Lei, and Aoi, Night Sorrow organized his thoughts. If he didn't have a sense of belonging to Medicine Valley, Night Sorrow wouldn't be worried about the situation. However, Night Sorrow was indebted to Medicine Valley for nurturing him. Therefore, he looked forward to the rise of Medicine Valley. However, if Medicine Valley wanted to rise, the Golden Flame sect was a huge mountain pressing down on it. It was too difficult. 13. What are you thinking about? Yang Lei asked. Thinking about the current situation. Night Sorrow exhaled and said, you don't have to think so much. So what if the Golden Flame sect can destroy our Medicine Valley? If they can't, what's the point of jumping around? Yang Lei snorted and said, that's right. Night Sorrow, you don't have to worry. If the Golden Flame sect can't destroy Old Chow of Medicine Valley, that day will not change. Sikong Chu said, that's true. It seems that my worries were unnecessary. I plan to go to Danding Cliff to cultivate and improve my cultivation. I want to break through to the core formation realm. Also, I want to spar with the disciples of Medicine Valley on the elixir ranking to feel the gap between us. Night Sorrow said his thoughts. Then I can't go back with you. I have to stay in Danding City for a while. Yang Lei thought for a moment and said, although she wanted to accompany Night Sorrow, Medicine Valley was too important in Danding City. She couldn't afford to lose it. Then I'll go with you. I'll cultivate at the bamboo forest peak. You'll have hot tea to drink when you're done. Sikong Chuyu said with a smile. Okay, then it's settled. Sixth senior sister, you can continue to stay here. Night Sorrow said to Aoi. That's fine too. I won't accompany you guys to run around. Let the disciples stay here and cultivate. Once their cultivation improves, it will be more convenient for them to go to Danding City to do missions, Qingji said. After making the decision, Night Sorrow took Sikong Chuyu and flew to Medicine Valley on a Tianyu. Chuyu, are you used to staying here? Night Sorrow asked with his arms around Sikong Chuyu. It's okay. 6th senior sister and 9th senior sister are easy to get along with. I like it here. Although there are fights, I don't have to worry about the people around me. I feel at ease. Sikong Chiu leaned on Night Sorrow and said, "When the situation here calms down, I'll go with you to see your parents and ask them to let me take you. I'll make your family acknowledge me." Night Sorrow took a deep breath and said, "I know. My parents will like you too. As for acknowledgement, it's fine as long as I acknowledge you. It's too hard to count on my family. There's almost no hope." Sikong Chiu shook his head and said, "I'll work hard to improve my cultivation." Night Sorrow reached out and stroked Sikong Chiu's hair. Chapter 263. Genius 1 second. Remember, love, go, shao? We provide you with wonderful novels to read. Night Sorrow was silent, because what Sikong Chiu said was true. Jiyu's family was a top family in the Qingtian region, with a long history. There were venerables in the family, and Jiyu Hao himself was very strong. Sikong Chiu turned around and looked at Night Sorrow. Jiyu Hao has nothing to be proud of in front of you. Everything he has is given to him by his family. Without the support of his family, he is nothing. He is already an old man, and he is so annoying. Looking at Sikong Chiu's eyes, which could see through people's souls, Night Sorrow made a promise. That is also a capital. However, as long as I am alive, I will not let go of you. Don't talk nonsense. What do you mean by dying? I won't allow you to say that. You have to take care of yourself, so that we can always be together. Sikong Chiu's cheeks turned red. She was not used to such explicit words. Night Sorrow nodded and did not say anything, but he knew in his heart that if this continued, Sikong Chiu would always be by his side, but without a proper reason, it could be said that she had left the family and betrayed it. Even if she did not say it, he still felt pressure in his heart. If he wanted Sikong Chiu to stay by his side comfortably, Night Sorrow had to openly go to the Sikong family. Although marriage required a man and a woman to be happy, the elders' orders were also indispensable. Otherwise, they would bear a stain, such as being accused of eloping. Love, go, shao, shua, shao, shao, shura, www. Paitrus. Sim Yang Lei's side did not have any problems, because she did not have a family. Yu Yongyu could make the decision. A teacher for a day is a father for life. This was open and above board, but Sikong Chiu could not. After returning to the bamboo forest peak, Night Sorrow and Sikong Chiu found that the place was very clean. Obviously, there were servant disciples here every day to clean it. After tidying up a little, the two of them could settle down. After packing up, Night Sorrow planned to go to Danding Cliff to cultivate and improve his cultivation. Go. I'll wait for you here. Sikong Chiu said with a smile. That's right, said Sikong Chiu with a smile. Night Sorrow nodded and left with Tianyu. He went straight to Danding Cliff without paying a visit to Yu Yongyu, Gong Xian, and the others. He knew that they were all busy and had a lot of things to do. When he arrived at Danding Cliff, he informed Elder Su that he didn't want to trouble Elder Su's Night Sorrow, so he let Tianyu return to Bamboo Forest Peak. Then, Night Sorrow began to climb the cliff. After climbing 5,200 meters, the sky turned dark. Night Sorrow stopped climbing and cultivated at 5,200 meters. For the next few days, Night Sorrow didn't move. When his true Qi and myriad Dao Tome's energy recovered, he used the Vajra hands and continued to meditate. The rumbling sounds from time to time let the disciples of the Medicine Valley, who often used merit points to cultivate, know that the cultivation madman Night Sorrow had returned. This time, Night Sorrow cultivated for more than 10 days. In addition to the previous time when he was doing missions, his true Qi cultivation and myriad Dao Tome cultivation were on the verge of advancing. Without moving, Night Sorrow raised his true Qi cultivation to the 5th level of the core condensation realm. After stabilizing his cultivation for half a day, Night Sorrow began to break through to the bone-forging realm of the myriad Dao Tome. The first realm of the myriad Dao Tome was the blood-refining realm. It strengthened the blood and opened up the meridians in the body. The second realm was the tendon-strengthening realm. It strengthened the meridians in the body. Night Sorrow was done with all these. Now, Night Sorrow had reached the bone-forging realm of the myriad Dao Tome. During this period of time, Night Sorrow had been using the Flood Dragon bone-forging pill and the natural energy to strengthen his arms. At this time, his arms couldn't absorb any more energy. Night Sorrow planned to break through and enter the next realm. The final breakthrough of this realm required him to strengthen the bone marrow in his arms. Night Sorrow didn't dare to be careless. He came to the 5,000-meter platform without any pressure and began to break through at night. When the energy entered his bone marrow, Night Sorrow knew what it meant to feel pain in the bone marrow. The pain he had experienced in the past was nothing in front of strengthening his bone marrow. This pain was simply soul-piercing. Night Sorrow's arms trembled unnaturally. At the same time, the muscles on his face twitched. He knew that if he hadn't experienced some pain from cultivating the myriad Dao Tome, he definitely wouldn't have been able to endure it. Night Sorrow even suspected that the person who created this cultivation method had a special constitution and couldn't feel pain. After 4 hours, Yishang strengthened the bone marrow in his arms and entered the second level of the bone-forging realm of the myriad Tao treasure tome. His clothes were soaked. Feeling that there was no one around, Night Sorrow changed his clothes. He drank a mouthful of wine and began to stabilize his cultivation. After cultivating on the 5,000-meter platform until dawn, Night Sorrow returned to the 5,200-meter platform to continue cultivating. After cultivating for another day, Yishang's condition had recovered. He planned to continue climbing. In the Medicine Valley, the highest record for a core condensation realm cultivator was 5,400 meter. This wasn't difficult for Night Sorrow. Now, he didn't feel any pressure at 5,200 meter. After stretching his waist, Night Sorrow began to climb upwards. Just after 5,200 meters, Night Sorrow felt that something was wrong. The pressure was much greater than the pressure below. This made him understand that the higher he climbed, the greater the pressure. The difference was huge. Night Sorrow also understood. No wonder so many rank 4 cultivators only reached 5,400 meter. The pressure was too great. After half an hour, Night Sorrow reached the 5,300 meter platform. He sat down cross-legged and began to recover. After using 4 hours to recover, Night Sorrow climbed towards the 5,400 meter mark. Night Sorrow's actions attracted a lot of attention. Night Sorrow was a famous person in Danding Cliff. Although it was very difficult, Night Sorrow still reached the 5,400 meter platform. Too heaven-defying. At the 5th level of the core condensation realm, he tied the record of 5,400 meter. Chu Ling Xiao, who was standing next to Elder Su, said. He also came to cultivate. He planned to use the pressure of Danding Cliff to consolidate his cultivation and break through to the 5th level. He also found the opportunity to break through. Let's go to the mountain and have a look. Elder Su got up and flew to the mountain opposite Danding Cliff. Chu Ling Xiao followed behind. Some disciples of the Medicine Valley also ran to catch up. This was a big event in the Medicine Valley. Night Sorrow had surpassed all the predecessors of the Medicine Valley. Surpassing one level may be an opportunity, or it may be a big advantage at this stage. But to continuously surpass the previous record, that was the embodiment of strength. You all take a good look. Look at how he cultivated. A year and a half. He only cultivated for a year and a half, and he has such achievements. If Night Sorrow can break through to 5,500 meter, I will apply to the sect to give every disciple of the Medicine Valley under the 3rd level an extra day of cultivation. Elder Su said excitedly. We have to cheer for Martial Uncle Night. Danding Peak's Chen Yun said. 5,500 meter is not difficult for Martial Uncle Night. Another disciple on the Yuan ranking, Wan Chun, said. Chapter 264. Genius remembers love in 1 second/small? We provide you with wonderful novels to read. The record for the Yuan gathering step at Pill Cauldron Cliff was 4,500 meters. According to the rules, the record for the core condensation step should be 5,500 meters. But in reality, The record for the core condensation step had been reduced by 100 meters. In other words, the difficulty was different. Yi Shang started to climb. As soon as he came out of the 5,400-meter staircase, Yi Shang felt immense pressure. If the pressure from Danding Cliff was described as the impact of a violent storm before 4,000 meters, then it would be the impact of waves in the river before 5,400 meters. After 5,400 meters, it would be the impact of a waterfall. Every step Night Sorrow climbed took a lot of energy. As he continued to climb, one small platform after another was left behind. At 5,450 meters, Night Sorrow's true chi was exhausted. He decisively used the Myriad Tao Scripture's second-level bone-forging energy to continue climbing. Climbing on Danding Cliff had a strong body and great strength, which was a huge advantage. Very soon, Night Sorrow had reached a height of 5,400 meters, which was 90 meters. The remaining 10 meters were like a huge ravine to Night Sorrow. Night Sorrow took a deep breath. Profound jade spiritual chi erupted from his hands and he once again charged upwards. After 3 consecutive attempts, Night Sorrow was sprawled on the 5,500-meter platform. He was like a piece of paper stuck to the ground, unable to stand up. Success! Martial Uncle Night has reached 5,500 meters. Chen Yun excitedly shouted. After resting for a while, Night Sorrow recovered his strength and sat down to recover his energy. This fellow, he's only at the 5th level of the core condensation realm. If he reaches the peak of the 9th level of the core condensation realm, he might reach 5,800 or even 6,000 meters. Chu Lingxiao sighed. The energy in his body is terrifying. It's no different from a demonic beast, said Elder Su. If I'm not wrong, this guy is going to charge into the alchemy list, Chu Lingxiao said after thinking for a moment. Elder Su nodded. Night Sorrow could have rushed towards the top a few days ago, but he didn't because he was accumulating his strength. Now that he was charging towards the record, he would also try to get into the alchemy board. Disperse, all of you disperse. Go do what you need to do. Chu Lingxiao shooed away the onlookers. While Night Sorrow was recovering his cultivation, he was also waiting for Tianyu. Tianyu came over once a day. Night Sorrow calculated that it was almost time for Tianyu to come. When Night Sorrow fully recovered his cultivation, Tianyu also appeared. Seeing Tianyu approaching, Night Sorrow roared. He slapped the cliff with his right hand and used the soaring dragon steps to rush towards Tianyu. In midair, Night Sorrow once again landed on Tianyu's back and controlled Tianyu to land at the bottom of Danding Cliff. It was time to leave. If there was nothing urgent, Yi Shang wanted to say goodbye to Elder Su. After getting off Tianyu, Night Sorrow cupped his hands towards Elder Su and Chu Lingxiao. Greetings to Elder Su and Peak Master Chu. Very good. You're only at the middle stage of the core condensation realm, yet you've already broken the Medicine Valley's core condensation realm record. When you reach the peak, you can try again. Elder Su nodded with satisfaction. Just call me Senior Brother Chu. You don't need to be so polite. Are you planning to go back? Chu Lingxiao asked with a smile. AI only and K1 / 8H version E, the other 3/WS are all H robber EZ version *. Yes. After cultivating for a while, I plan to go back and relax. Night Sorrow said. Then hurry up and go back. Chu Lingxiao nodded towards Night Sorrow. Riding Tianyu, Night Sorrow arrived at Tai Xian Hall. In the side hall, Night Sorrow saw Gong Xian and Wu Qi. Core Condensation Realm Level 5. Not bad. At this speed, it won't take long for you to reach Level 4. Gong Xian pointed at a chair for Night Sorrow to sit down. How's the situation recently? Night Sorrow asked. He was more worried about this problem. There are sporadic battles, but it doesn't affect the overall situation. The troublemakers have all been killed. Medicine Valley's losses aren't that great. Gong Xian said. What do you plan to do next? Wu Qi asked. I originally planned to challenge the pill rankings, but at this time, Medicine Valley is facing an external battle and internal competition isn't suitable. I plan to wait for a while. Night Sorrow thought for a moment and said, You're right. If you challenge the pill rankings at this time, you'll definitely be criticized. Wait for a while. If you raise your cultivation by 1 or 2 levels, you'll have a better chance. Gong Xian agreed with Night Sorrow's point of view. After that, Night Sorrow left Tai Xian Hall and returned to Bamboo Forest Peak. On Tianyu's back, Night Sorrow saw Sikong Chuyu looking at him from afar. Before Tianyu could land, Night Sorrow's body flashed and landed in front of Sikong Chuyu. He hugged Sikong Chuyu. Go take a rest. I'll make something to eat. Sikong Chuyu patted Night Sorrow's shoulder and said. Then, the two placed wine and dishes in front of the bamboo house and began to drink. First of all, congratulations on your improvement in cultivation. Sikong Chuyu raised the wine bowl to Night Sorrow. Thank you. How have you been? Night Sorrow picked up some food for Sikong Chuyu. How can I be? I'm stabilizing my cultivation now and preparing for my advancement. Sikong Chuyu said with a smile. After eating, the two took Tianyu and the silver fox cub for a walk in the bamboo forest. This was Night Sorrow's favorite time. It was his favorite thing to do when he was free. What do you plan to do next? Sikong Chuyu sat on a green rock and patted the spot next to Night Sorrow. Not much. I just want to improve my cultivation as soon as possible. Only when I reach the 4th level can I travel around. Night Sorrow said. At the 4th level I can handle some things. At least I have chi to protect my body. Sikong Chuyu agreed with Night Sorrow's idea. Okay, I understand. Night Sorrow nodded. Then, the two decided to go to Danding City tomorrow. After all, Yang Lei was still in Danding City. They needed to check out the situation there. The two returned to the bamboo house very late. Night Sorrow, don't cultivate tonight. Have a good rest. Can I accompany you? Night Sorrow asked in a low voice. Sure. We can chat when we have nothing to do. Sikong Chuyu said with a smile. Since things had already reached this point, she didn't want to reject Yishang. She knew that Yishang wasn't a playboy. Then, the two went to Sikong Chuyu's room. Sikong Chuyu lit the beast oil lamp. You must be tired from cultivating non-stop these days. Have a good rest. After speaking, Sikong Chuyu took off her skirt, leaving only her tight pink underwear. Her curvy body was exposed in front of Night Sorrow. Night Sorrow turned his head. He did not dare to keep looking at Sikong Chuyu. Are you embarrassed? Sikong Chuyu helped Night Sorrow take off his outer robe. After hanging it up, they sat down on the bamboo bed. Chapter 265. Genius 1 second. Remember love divided by go divided by little? We provide you with wonderful novels to read. Chuyu, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have made such a request. Love go little, say, Chu. Night Sorrow said. He was worried that Sikong Chuyu wouldn't like it. It's okay. I know you just want to be with me. You don't have any other thoughts. In fact, these are not important. Can I marry someone else? Sikong Chuyu leaned on Night Sorrow and whispered. After spending some time together, Sikong Chuyu also understood that sooner or later, she would be Night Sorrow's woman. Some things didn't need to be formal. That way, Night Sorrow would be under a lot of pressure. After all, his family wasn't so easy to conquer. It was too difficult to get his family to agree and be together in the future. Chuyu, thank you for being willing to be with me. This gives me extra motivation to cultivate. Night Sorrow hugged Sikong Chuyu and said, You can't say that. Feelings are not charity. I decided to be with you not only because you are willing to love and protect me, but also because I like being with you. Sikong Chuyu said, I understand. Night Sorrow said softly, You don't understand at all. You like me, but I also like you. Our future doesn't only require you to work hard. I also have to work hard for my own happiness. Sikong Chuyu turned around and hugged Night Sorrow's waist. Night Sorrow didn't do anything that night. He just hugged Sikong Chuyu and chatted softly. If there was a further development, it would be that Night Sorrow kissed Sikong Chuyu seriously. After tidying up in the morning, Sikong Chuyu carried the silver fox cub and returned to Longquan Courtyard with Night Sorrow on the Tianyu. In the Dragon Spring Courtyard, Aoi was teaching this disciple a lesson with a rattan. Seeing that Night Sorrow had returned, Aoi extended her hand and gave Shenrong a vine. Your 13th martial uncle entered the sect at the same time as you. When he entered, he was at level 3 and you were at level 8. What about now? Your 13th uncle is already in the 5th level of the core formation realm, but you're still in the 6th level of the element gathering realm. Have you been cultivating for nothing? Master, 13th uncle, we really can't compare. Shenrong hugged his butt and jumped. Sikong Chuyu smiled and said, Indeed, 6th senior sister. It's not bad that he has reached this level in just over a year. Aoi didn't say anything else. Shenrong and Jiang Ziming were indeed good, but she just wanted them to work harder. 6th senior sister, hasn't my 9th senior sister come over recently? Night Sorrow found a seat and asked. She did. She's been in a hurry recently. She killed several groups of Golden Flame sect disciples. Qing Ji said with a smile. She should have asked her subordinates to do it. Sikong Chu said. Your 9th senior sister is gentle in front of you. She's usually hot-tempered, so it's hard to persuade her. Aoi said with a smile. Aoi Meiti. Hai Luo, Luo Wei, Little Six and the others were either taking care of Tianyu and the silver fox cubs or getting food. When it was time for dinner, Yang Lei came over. I guess you'll be back soon. 13th uncle, you've improved your cultivation. When are you going to break the record of the core formation realm at Danding Cliff and the elixir list? Yang Lei asked after sitting down. Love go little say, W. Chu, I've already broken the record of the core formation realm at Danding Cliff. As for the elixir list, it's not the right time. Now that the Medicine Valley is united against outsiders, if I challenge the disciples on the elixir list, I'll be suspected of disregarding the safety of the Medicine Valley. Night Sorrow expressed his opinion. You're right to think that way. Although the current battle doesn't have anything to do with those below the core condensation realm, it's indeed disgusting to try for the pill ranking at this time. Qing Ji agreed with Yi Shang's decision. 9th senior sister, what are the cultivation levels of the Golden Flame Sex people? Night Sorrow asked. Some of the Severed Soul Realm disciples are old disciples who have exhausted their potential and have no future. When they fight with the disciples of the Medicine Valley, they use a method of mutual destruction. The most shameless one is the Golden Flame sect. They let the Fire Tiger sect, Eightley Castle's O clan, and Nanyang City's Tai clan encroach on our Medicine Valley. Yang Lei said angrily, They're too despicable. Then we have to beat them back. Night Sorrow said angrily, This matter has already been reported to the sect. The sect should have made a decision. Yang Lei said, Chuyu, you and 6th senior sister stay here. I plan to go out. The Medicine Valley is surrounded by enemies. As a disciple of the Medicine Valley, I have to do my part for the Medicine Valley. Night Sorrow said after thinking for a while. Night Sorrow was very tired of the Tai clan, Eightley Castle's O clan, and Fire Tiger sect. He felt that these forces were too shameless and had no character. Last time, they responded to the Golden Flame sect's call and made trouble at Venerable Hua Yunpeng's celebration. Now, they're doing this again. Men should be brave. I agree. 6th senior sister, Chuyu, what do you think? Yang Lei looked at Aoi and Sikong Chuyu and asked. If he goes with you, I won't object. But if he doesn't go with the other peaks, I won't be at ease. Aoi voiced her opinion. I agree. If he goes with eldest senior brother and 9th senior sister, then there's no problem. But if he goes with the other peaks, then forget it. Don't get cheated. Sikong Chuyu had the same opinion as Aoi. I understand. Even if others want 13 to go with them, I won't agree. Yang Lei said while eating. After eating, the few of them strolled and chatted in the courtyard. First, Shenrong and Jiang Ziming couldn't do it. If they dared to slack off, they would be served with rattan. After strolling around, Sikong Chuyu and Aoi went to rest. They mainly wanted to give Night Sorrow and Yang Lei some time alone. How far have you and Chuyu progressed? Yang Lei looked at Night Sorrow and asked. It's still the same. We just rested together for a night. Night Sorrow said embarrassedly. Did you get her? Yang Lei asked excitedly. What are you talking about? I was just hugging her to rest. Yishan hurriedly explained. Where's the courage to touch me? You idiot! Yang Lei said with some resentment for not living up to her expectations. These things, let's take it slow. She's alone outside. How can I take advantage of her? Night Sorrow shook his head and said, this is love between a man and a woman, not taking advantage of her. Yang Lei looked helplessly at Yishan. Ninth senior sister, love is the most important thing. Nothing else is important. Night Sorrow shook his head and said, silly 13, I'm just worried that there will be other changes in the future. I'm afraid that you will be sad in the future. Yang Lei hugged Night Sorrow and said, ninth senior sister, I know you're doing this for my own good. I believe in Chiyu, just like how I believe in you. Night Sorrow said. When the two returned to the hall, Gong Xian, Wu Qi, and Huanan were already there. Night Sorrow went up and asked. He knew that Medicine Valley was going to make a big move. They were going to declare war on Fire Tiger Clan, Bali Castle's O Clan, and Nanyang's Tai Clan. The target of this operation was Nanyang City's Tai Clan. Tomorrow, Hua Yunpeng and Yu Yangyu would go to Nanyang City's Tai Clan's nest. Chapter 266. Genius Remembers Love in 1 Second/Small? We provide you with wonderful novels to read. If you want to fight, that's fine. However, you have to listen to eldest senior brother. Don't act recklessly. Nanyang City's Tai family isn't any weaker than Medicine Valley's. It's just that they don't have a venerable. This battle will be a huge one, Gong Xian said. The closest force to Medicine Valley was Nanyang City's Tai family. This time, the Medicine Valley wanted to cripple the Tai family and let the Fire Tiger sect and 8 Li Fort's O family know that the Medicine Valley wasn't something they could touch. Hua Yunpeng and Yu Yangyu weren't the only ones who wanted to make a move. A few of the Grand Elders also wanted to make a move. They didn't intend to give Nanyang City's Tai family a chance to catch their breath. Eldest senior brother, isn't the sect taking a risk by making this decision? What if the Golden Flame sect uses Nanyang City's Tai family as a trap and the venerable of the Golden Flame sect is waiting in Nanyang City? Night Sorrow said worriedly. 13, you've thought it through. The sect won't take the risk because our spies in the Golden Flame sect and the O family have confirmed that the venerable and experts of the Golden Flame sect are hiding in the O family. They think that the Medicine Valley will attack the weaker O family first. Now, we're going to attack the stronger Nanyang City first, Gong Xian said. Since that's the case, I'm relieved. Will the battle start tomorrow? Night Sorrow asked. We'll set off in the second half of the night and head straight to Danqing City. The Tai family of Nanyang City took down the sect's Danqing City 2 days ago. Their main forces are now there. In the second half of the night, we'll gather the forces of Cloud Sea Peak, North Pole Peak, Forgotten Cloud Peak, Crepe Myrtle, and Danding Peak. We'll directly eliminate the main forces of Nanyang City in Danqing City. Gong Xian nodded. Then, everyone went to rest. Yang Lei and Sikong Chuyu went to the second floor where Night Sorrow lived. Night Sorrow, I won't be going with you. Be careful, Sikong Chuyu said. I'll be careful. I'll be with Big Brother and ninth senior sister. Nothing will happen, Night Sorrow said with a smile. Don't worry, Chuyu. Our Medicine Valley has also sent out all of our main forces this time. Our Grand Elder, Master, and the others have also joined the battle. The Tai family of Nanyang City is no match for the Medicine Valley, Yang Lei said to Sikong Chuyu. Sikong Chuyu nodded and then left Night Sorrow's room with Yang Lei. Night Sorrow needed to meditate and rest. In the middle of the night, Night Sorrow came to the hall. When Night Sorrow arrived, Gong Xian and the others from Taishan Peak were already there. Let's go to Danding City to meet up with the other junior brothers. Sixth junior sister, you stay here and take care of the other third-generation disciples, Gong Xian said. Aoi had a gentle personality and almost never participated in any battles. She didn't do any sect missions or Tianji Tower missions. She also didn't do any killing. This was no secret in Taishan Peak and Medicine Valley. Nodding to Sikong Chuyu, Night Sorrow followed Gong Xian and the others and left Longquan Courtyard on their flying beasts. When they arrived at the square in front of the Danding City Mayor's mansion, they controlled their flying beasts to land. At this time, the Danding City Square was brightly lit. The Grand Elder and Qian Wu were there. The people from the other peaks had also arrived. All of them were disciples of the 4th stage and above. Don't say too much. The time for battle has come. Whoever dares to touch Medicine Valley will have to pay the price in blood. Get on the mounts. The Grand Elder roared and released a red goshawk. He then jumped on the back of the goshawk in a flash. After that, the others also got on their mounts. Those who didn't have mounts shared a mount. At this time, the difference between the disciples of each peak was obvious. Taishan Peak had the most mounts. Other than Yu Yangyu's disciples, the other second-generation disciples also had mounts. Only a small portion of them didn't have mounts. At most, they had 2 people on a mount. The other peaks had 3 people on a mount. Crepe Myrtle was full of women. It was even worse. Most of them didn't have mounts. Let's go to Taishan Peak. Yi Xiling shouted to her disciples. At this time, what could the disciples of Taishan Peak say? Everyone was going to fight for Medicine Valley. Some of them might not even be able to make it back. How could they refuse to let them ride? 2 second-generation disciples of Crepe Myrtle also came on the back of Night Sorrow's Tianyu. Night Sorrow had seen these 2 people before, but he didn't know their names. Junior Brother Night, your mount is so handsome. The Valley Master is just worried about you. An older disciple said with a smile. My junior apprentice brother obtained this mount himself. Don't think that everything my junior apprentice brother has was given to him by someone else. Everything he has was earned by himself. Yang Lei, who was not far from Yishang, was somewhat dissatisfied. This disciple of Crepe Myrtle smiled apologetically at Night Sorrow. She originally thought that such a handsome beast like Tianyu must have been given to Night Sorrow by Yu Yangyu and the others. She never thought that Night Sorrow got it himself. E6 is forever exempt. #Fee little f said. Then the group set off. Night Sorrow knew that the journey would take 4 hours, which meant that they would attack the place before dawn, when people were most likely to be scarce. 4 hours couldn't be wasted. Night Sorrow let Tianyu follow Gong Xian and Yang Lei's green condor and then sat down to meditate and cultivate. Looking at Night Sorrow meditating on the back of Tianyu's neck, the 2 disciples of Crepe Myrtle looked at each other. Most people couldn't do this. This was the difference between a tamed beast and an intelligent beast. Tamed beasts were tamed by humans. They would be obedient, but they didn't have much intelligence. They would do whatever you commanded them to do. If you didn't command them, they wouldn't move. Most people controlled their tamed beasts to fly, but Night Sorrow's Tianyu followed Gong Xian and Yang Lei's green condor and knew how to accelerate and decelerate. It was extremely agile. Under such circumstances, anyone who wasn't stupid would know what Tianyu was like. It was an intelligent beast that could continuously evolve, not to mention that its bloodline was very strong. The First Elder and the other Peak Masters weren't surprised. Night Sorrow cultivated for 4 hours before everyone arrived at the outskirts of Danqing City. Then, the First Elder assigned tasks. The First Elder, the Second Elder, and Yen Beibei led a group of people to the City Lord's mansion, while the other peaks charged through the 3 city gates. Many of you haven't experienced war. I'll remind you now that war is cruel. It's either you die or I die. If you see any members of the Tai family in Nanyang City, kill them as long as their cultivation is above stage 2. After assigning the tasks, the First Elder turned around and reminded everyone. The disciples who came this time were all stage 4 and above, but many of them had never experienced a battle. Taishan Peak and Crepe Myrtle were attacking from the south gate. They wanted to charge through the south gate to the City Lord's mansion. North Peak and Cloud Sea Peak were the north gate, while Forgotten Cloud Peak and Nine Een Peak were the east gate. Danqing City was built on a mountain, so there were only 3 city gates. Seeing the First Elder lead a group of elders into the city, everyone moved. Riding their flying beasts to the south gate, the disciples of Taishan Peak and Crepe Myrtle landed. After the battle begins, all disciples of Crepe Myrtle will listen to Peak Master Gong's orders. Those who disobey will be killed. The battle was about to begin. Yi Xiling gave the order to Crepe Myrtle's disciples. A battle needed a unified command, and Yi Xiling was aware of this. Don't hurt the civilians. They are all citizens under the jurisdiction of Medicine Valley. They don't want Danqing City to fall. Kill them now. Yi Xian roared and charged forward. Chapter 267. Genius 1 second. Remember love, go, shao? We provide you with interesting novels to read. When the Medicine Valley's troops arrived, the members of the Tai clan in Danqing City already knew. The Medicine Valley wasn't afraid of the Tai clan of Nanyang City finding out. This time, they were going to kill them openly. Since the Tai clan of Nanyang City dared to seize Danqing City, it was a declaration of war. Since they had declared war, the Medicine Valley would fight to the end. The city gates opened, and the troops of the Tai clan of Nanyang City rushed out. The city gates and city walls wouldn't be able to resist the attack of the Medicine Valley. They could only fight. The city gates and city walls could only resist the attacks of demonic beasts that couldn't fly. They were useless against the attacks of human experts. Rank 4 cultivators could fly for a short period of time, while Rank 5 cultivators could fly continuously. The city gates and city walls were just decorations that couldn't stop them. Both parties quickly engaged in close combat. Gong Xian, Yang Lei, and Yi Xiling rushed at the front, while Night Sorrow followed closely behind them. Night Sorrow's cultivation was lower than theirs, but his soaring dragon steps was extremely fast. As they engaged in close combat with the disciples of the Tai clan of Nanyang City, Night Sorrow brandished his reincarnation spear and directly pierced the chest of a disciple of the Tai clan of Nanyang City who was guarding the city. This was a Rank 4 defender. When he saw that Night Sorrow's cultivation was only at the Rank 3, he didn't take it to heart. The long sword in his hand slashed out diagonally, intending to shake off Night Sorrow's long sword and then attack Night Sorrow's chest. Love, go, shao, shua, w. Ai chu x. Then when the weapons clashed, the expression of the disciple of the Tai clan of Nanyang City changed. His long sword was shaken off by the explosive force of Night Sorrow's reincarnation spear. After shaking off his opponent's weapon, Night Sorrow pushed with his right hand. The reincarnation spear instantly accelerated and pierced into his opponent's chest. With a shake of his arm, Night Sorrow sent the disciple of the Tai clan of Nanyang City flying. This shocked the disciples of Taishan Peak and Crepe Myrtle. That was a Stage 4 cultivator. Of course, he had underestimated his opponent, but he had also seen Night Sorrow's tyrannical combat power. After killing an opponent with a single spear strike, Night Sorrow took out 2 sky-piercing spears and placed them on his waist. He then continued to charge forward. This was a chaotic battle, so Night Sorrow had to be prepared for close combat. Shouts and screams rang out continuously. The strength of the Tai family in Nanyang City was comparable to that of the Medicine Valley in the past. They also had many subsidiary forces within their borders and many experts. Of course, there would be many people guarding such a crucial place like the city gate. The battle was especially intense. Night Sorrow brandished his reincarnation spear and killed the men of the Tai clan in Nanyang City. Night Sorrow could kill a Stage 3 opponent with a few spears. As for Stage 4 cultivators, Night Sorrow was not afraid of them. He could also fight, but it was very difficult to kill them. At this time, Taishan Peak or Crepe Myrtle's disciples would take over. Everyone knew about Night Sorrow's situation. They knew that Night Sorrow was a Stage 3 cultivator and could sweep away all Stage 3 cultivators. However, it would be difficult for him to kill a Stage 4 opponent. Therefore, they did not let Night Sorrow face a Stage 4 opponent. Night Sorrow's white battle robe was dyed red with the blood of his enemies. The others were not as miserable as him. After all, Stage 4 cultivators had their chi protecting their bodies. Blood would not splatter on their bodies. Soon, the disciples of the Medicine Valley killed their way in through the city gate. The battlefield shifted to the city. 13. Be careful. Yang Lei shouted at Night Sorrow. At this time, a group of people surged out of the city. These people's cultivation bases were very high. The battle was very fierce. While the members of the forces of Nanyang City were killed, the Medicine Valley's side also suffered injuries. Die. At this time, an old man appeared. After punching Huanan back, he slashed at Lin Jingyi, who was not far behind Huanan. Ding. With a crisp sound, Lin Jingyi's long sword was broken by the old man. Her body was also sent flying to the side. She flew for 5 to 6 zhang before falling to the ground. At this time, a young man from the Tai clan of Nanyang City brandished his saber and slashed at Lin Jingyi. Jingyi! Junior sister! Crepe Myrtle's men shouted loudly. However, no one had the chance to help because they were too far away. At this time, Night Sorrow pulled out the sky-piercing spear with his left hand and threw it. This black light was not very obvious in the dawn, but it let out an ear-piercing screech. The sky-piercing spear pierced the young man's abdomen and sent him flying backward. In the end, he was nailed to an ancient tree on the side of the street. The people of Medicine Valley heaved a sigh of relief. One must know that the young man's saber was only half a chi away from Lin Jingyi's neck. After throwing the spear, Night Sorrow followed behind Yang Lei and Gong Xian. They continued to advance and kill. More and more bloodstains appeared on their robes. In the beginning, they encountered many rank 4 cultivators. They were the main force of the Tai clan of Nanyang City. They were also at the forefront. After breaking through this blockade, the number of rank 3 cultivators of the Tai clan increased. Night Sorrow was like a ferocious tiger that entered a flock of sheep. He brandished his reincarnation spear and killed with every strike. In the middle, Night Sorrow once again used his sky-piercing spear to save a disciple of the Crepe Myrtle. There was no time to retrieve the sky-piercing spear. Night Sorrow took out 2 more sky-piercing spears and stuck them on his waist. The sky gradually brightened. The group continued to advance, but the battle was not as intense. After all, this was no longer the main area. 13. Are you injured? Yang Lei asked as she looked at Night Sorrow's blood-stained battle robes. I'm fine. It's all someone else's. Night Sorrow shook his head. 2 hours later, Yi Xiling, Gong Xian, and Yang Lei led their troops and killed their way to the City Lord's mansion. The battle at the City Lord's mansion was even more intense. The plaza in front of the City Lord's mansion was filled with blood and corpses that were lying on the ground. Not long after Gong Xian, Yang Lei, and Night Sorrow arrived, the other 2 groups of people also arrived. Duan Lei, how are the losses of the North Pole Peak and Cloud Sea Peak? The pale-faced Great Elder asked. Mine had 4 disciples died. The other 2 were severely injured and crippled. Duan Lei bowed and said, Yuan Tai, Ling Xiao, how is your group? The Great Elder looked at the second group of people. We lost 5 disciples. Ling Xiao is also injured. Yuan Tai said with guilt. There are deaths in war. They died for the Medicine Valley. They are the pride of the Medicine Valley. Qian Wu said. Gong Xian, Xiling, how is your group? How are your losses? The Great Elder coughed and asked. 2 disciples died. Some of the others are injured. Yi Xiling said. Fortunately, we can't stay here for too long. We don't need to guard this city. Everyone, go down and comfort the people. Tell them that the Medicine Valley will not give up on this place. We are retreating now for the sake of the overall situation. The Great Elder said to the higher-ups of the Medicine Valley. 13. Are you injured? The Great Elder looked at Night Sorrow and asked. I'm fine. Thank you for your concern, Great Elder. Night Sorrow bowed. Chapter 268. Geniuses Remember Love in 1 Second? We provide you with wonderful novels to read. Senior Sister Tang, what are you doing? Night Sorrow wanted to help them up, but he was a man and a woman. Junior Brother Night, thank you for saving my 2 junior sisters, Tang Qianqian said. Senior Sister Tang, we are all from the same sect. We are all fighting for Medicine Valley. There is no need to be so polite, Night Sorrow said quickly. Oh right, my sky-piercing spear. Great Elder, please continue with your work. I will go look for a weapon. Night Sorrow was about to leave. He couldn't lose his sky-piercing spear. 13. Why are you so excited? Yi Xiling said with a smile. Then she waved her hand, and a disciple of crepe myrtle came over with 2 sky-piercing spears. I was in a hurry just now, so I forgot to take them back. I didn't have time. Night Sorrow nodded and took back the 2 sky-piercing spears. What happened? The Great Elder asked. 13 killed a lot of enemies and saved Crepe Myrtle's disciples twice, Yi Xiling said. The Great Elder, the Second Elder, the other elders, and the Peak Masters all nodded at Night Sorrow in admiration. It was rare for a third-stage disciple to do this. At noon, all the disciples of Medicine Valley left. The Golden Flame sect was strong, so the Medicine Valley wouldn't choose to fight them head-on. They couldn't leave their men in Danqing City and wait for the Golden Flame sect to strike. The members of Medicine Valley rode their flying beasts back to Danding Peak of Medicine Valley. Night Sorrow didn't stay in Danding City either. He was worried about Hua Yunpeng and Yu Yangyu. The Medicine Valley had dealt a heavy blow to the Tai family of Nanyang City in Danqing City, but the key to determining the outcome of this battle was still the battle results of Hua Yunpeng, Yu Yangyu, and the other Grand Elders. Only by destroying the backbone of the Tai family of Nanyang City could they establish the foundation for victory. In the side hall of Danding Peak, Night Sorrow saw Yu Yangyu and Hua Yunpeng. Seeing the 2 of them, Night Sorrow felt relieved. If the 2 of them were safe, then the other Grand Elders would also be fine. After asking about the battle at Danqing City, Yu Yangyu also told him about the battle at Nanyang City. Y forever Q, for a long time D, free, Phi QMCT small %, say the Patriarch and Grand Elder of Nanyang City's Tai family had been killed. Apart from those outside, none of the Tai family members above Type 5 were spared. This kind of result made everyone very happy. Then, Yu Yangyu and the others arranged the next step of the Medicine Valley's operation. Love Go Little, say, first, they informed the Fire Tiger sect and the 8 Mile Fort's O family to scram. If they continued to follow the Golden Flame sect like dogs, then the venerables of the Golden Flame sect would stay in their territory. Otherwise, the Medicine Valley would eliminate them as soon as they had the chance. This was the difference between venerables and venerables. They had absolute suppression power. The Medicine Valley was at a disadvantage against the Golden Flame sect, but they had absolute strength against the Fire Tiger sect and the 8 Mile Fort's O family. The Medicine Valley's notice was actually to let the Fire Tiger sect and the 8 Mile Fort's O family make a choice. Continue to follow the Golden Flame sect like dogs, or withdraw from the battle in this area. If they continued to stand behind the Golden Flame sect, then they would have to constantly consider the attacks of the Medicine Valley. If the Golden Flame sect's protection was not good enough, then it would be a disaster. However, how could the venerables of the Golden Flame sect stay in their territory all the time? This was unrealistic. The Tai family of Nanyang City was a good example. After knowing that the Tai family of Nanyang City was wiped out by the Medicine Valley, the faces of the higher-ups of the Golden Flame sect were very ugly. The current situation was out of control. This was something that had not happened in the Golden Flame sect for many years. Su Huantian sat on the main seat and looked at the people in the main hall. At this time, it was useless for him to blame Zhan Tianyi. It would also make the other families think that the Su family was suppressing the Zhan family. In addition, the Zhan family also had venerables. It was not appropriate to overly attack Zhan Tianyi. Tell the Fire Tiger sect and the 8 Mile Fort's O family to withdraw from the Medicine Valley. Instead of letting them withdraw themselves, it's better for the Golden Flame sect to say it directly. Su Huantian said. Yes. Zhan Tianyi was now in a mess. With Su Huantian making the decision, the pressure in his heart lessened. Venerables, then we should let the Medicine Valley continue to be arrogant? Qi Tianhua looked at Su Huantian and asked. Under the situation where we can't destroy the Medicine Valley's venerables, no matter what we do, we won't be able to destroy the Medicine Valley. Su Huantian shook his head. The other elders also understood this point. The Golden Flame sect's strength was much stronger than the Medicine Valley's, but in the current situation, they couldn't break through. After the Medicine Valley made a move, they would retreat to Danding Peak. If the Golden Flame sect continued to make a move, the Medicine Valley would continue to make a move. After the fight, they would retreat. No one could do anything about it. Su Huantian couldn't defeat Hua Yunpeng on Danding Peak. With a stable base, the Medicine Valley wouldn't be afraid of the Golden Flame sect's attack. Looking at the other disappointed elders, Su Huantian coughed. We can only endure it for now. When Venerable Zhang comes out of seclusion, I will go to the Medicine Valley. As long as we can take down the Medicine Valley's venerables, the Medicine Valley will be frozen and disintegrated. The elders of the Golden Flame sect and Zhang Tianyi could only nod. This was the only way for the Golden Flame sect to break through the current situation. After that, Su Huantian asked Zhang Tianyi to arrange for the takeover of the Tai family's territory in Nanyang City. The Tai family in Nanyang City had already been wiped out by the Medicine Valley, which left a large empty area. Of course, the Golden Flame sect didn't want it to fall into the hands of the Medicine Valley. The troops sent by the Fire Tiger sect and the 8-Mile Fort O family to attack the Medicine Valley retreated. This was the Golden Flame sect's intention. In fact, without the Golden Flame sect's intention, they would have retreated. They didn't want to be the second Tai family. The battle in the Medicine Valley had stopped, but the storm hadn't calmed down. Because of the ownership of the territory under the Tai family in Nanyang City, the Golden Flame sect didn't want to benefit the Medicine Valley and didn't want the Medicine Valley to expand. Of course, they had to take over. What about the Medicine Valley? After destroying the Tai family in Nanyang City, they worked hard. Naturally, they wouldn't give the Golden Flame sect the fruits of their labor. The Golden Flame sect couldn't do anything to the Medicine Valley at the moment. Of course, the Medicine Valley wasn't afraid of trouble. They began to fight for territory with the Golden Flame sect in Nanyang City. Battles happened frequently. This time, the 12 peaks of the Medicine Valley all moved. They began to occupy the territory under the control of the Tai family in Nanyang City. Whenever a disciple of the Golden Flame sect appeared, they would kill him. The Medicine Valley even took over the key Nanyang City, which was no less prosperous than the Danding City. The Tai family in Nanyang City was on the same level as the Medicine Valley in the past. They had operated in this area for many years and managed an area of tens of thousands of miles. After the Medicine Valley took over Nanyang City, they sent Yan Beibei and Xue Qi to guard it. The two were ordered to guard the city and not let the Golden Flame sect take it away. If the small fries of the Golden Flame sect came, they would kill them. If the experts came, they would retreat. The Golden Flame sect was burning with anger. They clearly understood the means and intentions of the Medicine Valley, but they couldn't solve it. Chapter 269. Genius 1 second. Remember Love Go/Small? We provide you with wonderful novels to read. The conflict ended with the victory of the Medicine Valley once again. More than half of Nanyang City was taken over by the Medicine Valley while the other half was taken over by the Golden Flame sect. The most important part of Nanyang City fell into the hands of the Medicine Valley. The Fire Tiger sect and the 8-Mile Fort O clan were both shocked and bitterly disappointed by this result. They were both considering whether it was right or wrong to be tied to the Golden Flame sect. As the saying goes, the fox mourns the death of the hare. The Tai clan of Nanyang City was the same as them. They were both affiliated forces of the Golden Flame sect. But now, the Tai clan was destroyed. Not only did the Golden Flame sect not seek justice for the Tai clan of Nanyang City, they even took over a part of the Tai clan's territory. The higher-ups of the O clan held a meeting. Everyone felt that in terms of credibility, the Golden Flame sect was not as good as the Medicine Valley. And the Medicine Valley was rising rapidly. Elders, it's time for the O clan to make a decision, said the head of the O clan, O Zhentian. That's right. The Golden Flame sect asked us to retreat because they had no choice. They knew that even if they didn't ask us to, we would still retreat, said an elder of the O clan. We can't touch the Medicine Valley now. Those people are unyielding. Once we provoke them, there will be no end to it, said the female elder of the O clan. Oh sure. We didn't defend the Medicine Valley too much. The Golden Flame sect should be the one to blame, said O Zhentian. What do you think, clan head? Oh Sure looked at Oh Zhentian and asked. I want to have a talk with the Medicine Valley. We have to talk. The conflict between the Medicine Valley and the Golden Flame sect will erupt again. What should we do if the Golden Flame sect continues to use us as cannon fodder? Oh Zhentian expressed his thoughts. Yes, we need to talk. The Medicine Valley has its own principles. They should know that we were helpless in the past. The Golden Flame sect is really unreliable. If we don't attack the Medicine Valley in the future, they will turn against us and swallow us whole, the white-haired Oh Shueijia said. Since that's what everyone thinks, then I'll make a trip to the Medicine Valley. However, everyone must understand that since we're going to negotiate, it means that we're tied to the Medicine Valley's chariot. Oh Zhentian reminded the Oh family elders present. If the Medicine Valley could lend a helping hand when the Golden Flame sect attacks us, then it doesn't matter if we're tied to the same chariot as them. After we go there, be humble. We're no longer on the same level as them. An old man walked in. Great elder. Everyone in the main hall of the Oh family stood up. It was the great elder of the Oh family, Oh Fengyuan. The situation is chaotic now. If nothing unexpected happens, the Medicine Valley will rise. Our Oh family doesn't have a venerable, so we can only follow behind the top forces. Therefore, it's important to choose a side. Things are different now, so we have to be humble, Oh Fengyuan said to Oh Zhentian. Then Zhentian will go. Oh Zhentian stood up and said, Sure, you go with him. Pay attention to his whereabouts. Oh Fengyuan said to Oh Sure. Oh Zhentian and Oh Sure left the main hall of the Oh family and headed towards the Danding Mountain of the Medicine Valley. Night Sorrow and Yang Lei returned to Danding City. Night Sorrow accompanied Yang Lei to deal with some matters in the City Lord Mansion. Then, the two returned to the Longquan courtyard. You're back. Sikong Chuyu and Aoi, who were drinking tea, greeted. Your man is very impressive. He has killed countless enemies. Yang Lei lifted her skirt and sat down. Aoi smiled. You speak as if he's not your man. Yang Lei wanted to say something, but after opening her mouth twice, no words came out. She really didn't have the strength to fight back. Ai go shao shua 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 w, Ai chu x. Calm, alright, sit down and drink tea. Sixth senior sister is right. Sikong Chuyu said with a smile. It should be stable for a while. Aoi said, the Golden Fire sect can't do anything to the Medicine Valley. They can only wait for an opportunity. As for when that opportunity will come, I'm not sure. Yang Lei thought for a moment and said, it should be some time. The Golden Fire sect's actions this time have caused them to lose popularity. Not only did they not seek justice for the Tai family of Nanyang City, but they also went to fight for territory. This will make the Fire Tiger sect and the 8 Li Castle O family bitterly disappointed. I don't think those two families will work wholeheartedly for the Golden Fire sect. Aoi said after pouring tea for Yang Lei and Night Sorrow. It's better if it's quiet. That way, we can cultivate peacefully. Night Sorrow didn't want the situation to be too chaotic and affect his cultivation. Yeah. War means death. This time, the losses were small, but some disciples died. It's quite heartbreaking. Aoi said. This topic was quite heavy. After all, before the war, everyone was still alive. 13. You have to prepare. It won't be long before the alternate space opens. Yang Lei reminded Night Sorrow. I understand. I don't know if my cultivation can still be improved. Night Sorrow said. Such alternate spaces are very dangerous. No one knows what's going on inside. You have to know that there are many unknown creatures in the world. I've read about alternate spaces in ancient books. There are undead, demons, and so on. Those are all extremely powerful and evil creatures, Yang Lei said. That's right. An uninvestigated alternate space is extremely terrifying. It could be a small space with a radius of a few dozen miles or 100 miles, but it could also be an extremely large world. Because it has existed for countless years, it can produce spiritual treasures of heaven and earth, but it can also give birth to extremely vicious creatures. Qing Ji said to Yishang. She knew that Yishang was young and did not have much experience. After I go in, I will be careful. However, there are still more than 2 months. Night Sorrow was not worried. After drinking the tea, Night Sorrow went to practice his spear art. With the improvement of his qi cultivation and the myriad Dao treasured tome, Night Sorrow felt that there was room for improvement in his spear art and movement technique. In Thunder Mountain, several old men were standing in front of a space crack emitting evil aura. This is the entrance to an alternate space. However, the energy is unstable. After it stabilizes, only severed soul stage cultivators and below can enter. If high-level cultivators enter, it will cause the space to collapse. Then call back all the late-stage third-order disciples who are training outside. The appearance of such an alternate space may be a great opportunity. An old man said. In the Holy Light Grand Canyon, the same situation occurred. The Holy Light Temple also called back all the elite disciples below the fourth order. Translator, Timothy_editor, Globe-Glotter Night Sorrow worked hard to improve his cultivation. As for the alternate space, Night Sorrow felt that it was no different from doing a Tianji Tower task. After cultivating in the Dragon Spring Courtyard for half a month, Night Sorrow once again returned to the Medicine Valley's Danding Cliff. To continue climbing, he had to borrow the pressure of Danding Cliff to cultivate. The main reason was that the energy here was abundant. It was no different from cultivating in the Spirit Gathering Array. Chapter 270. Genius 1 second. Remember Love Go/Small? We provide you with wonderful novels to read. Many people in the Medicine Valley didn't approve of him. They were all disciples of the Medicine Valley, so showing off in front of their own people wasn't something to be proud of. Night Sorrow's 6-kill performance at Hua Yunpeng's venerable celebration ceremony had already gained the approval of most people. This time, in the confrontation with the Tai family of Nanyang City, Night Sorrow had even killed a stage 4 opponent. Such a battle record was hard to accept even if others didn't want to. After greeting Elder Su, Night Sorrow began to climb the cliff. Night Sorrow climbed to a height of 5,400 meters and began to cultivate. It was still difficult for him to climb 5,500 meters. Night Sorrow wanted to cultivate now, not to break the record, so he didn't want to waste time. When Night Sorrow was cultivating, the others consciously distanced themselves from him. This was because they didn't know when Night Sorrow would make a move. In addition, this was also a form of respect for Night Sorrow. One must know that those who could reach Night Sorrow's area were all stage 4 spirit severing stage disciples of the Medicine Valley. It wasn't easy to gain their approval. While Night Sorrow was cultivating hard, Yu Yangyu, the Great Elder, Qian Wu, and the others were talking with O Zhentian and O Shuru in the main hall of the Medicine Valley. Although they were still fighting a while ago, Yu Yangyu and the others were still polite to O Zhentian and O Shuru. Even if they were fighting, they still had to receive 1 or 2 people from the other side. This was their magnanimity. After that, O Zhentian explained his intentions and expressed his sincerity. I personally agree with this matter, but we also need the opinions of the other elders. How about this? O Clan Head, if you have any opinions, you can voice them out. Our Medicine Valley will hold a meeting of elders to make a decision, Yu Yangyu said. O Zhentian and O Shuru glanced at each other. Then, O Zhentian told them about the O Clan's idea. The O Clan was willing to join the Medicine Valley and live or die with the Medicine Valley. If the O Clan was attacked by the Golden Flame sect after leaving the Medicine Valley would have to fight against the enemy together. After that, Yu Yangyu and the Great Elder held a meeting of the elders. There were also elite disciples who brought O Zhentian and O Shuero to the side hall for tea. Soon, most of the elders of the Medicine Valley arrived and began to study the problem of the O family. After that, everyone felt that this was a good thing. After all, it was too difficult for the Medicine Valley to deal with the Golden Flame sect alone. If they could form an alliance with the O Clan, the strength of the Medicine Valley would increase by a lot. The Golden Flame sect would have 1 less helper. With this, the Medicine Valley wouldn't have such a hard time in the future. Love Go, little say. As long as they are sincere in forming an alliance with us, there won't be a problem. What I'm worried about is that they won't dig a hole for us. When the time comes, they will ruthlessly dig a hole for us, Lu Chenyun said. This shouldn't be a problem. The O clan won't do that. It won't do them any good. We have the Venerable to deter them, so they won't dare to be fickle. In addition, we will also know if they make any unusual moves, Yu Yangyu said. After that, Qianwu went to invite O Zhentian and O Shuero back to the Pill Cauldron main hall. Yu Yangyu told them the opinion of the Medicine Valley. After hearing that the Medicine Valley was willing to accept the O clan, O Zhentian and O Shuero immediately swore on their inner demons that they wouldn't betray the alliance. The successful alliance made O Zhentian and O Shuero very happy. Although this move was a gamble, at least they wouldn't become cannon fodder. After all, the Medicine Valley and the Golden Flame sect had different styles of doing things. In addition, the two sides also exchanged administrative areas. In this way, the Medicine Valley would be able to connect the area left by Nanyang City with their own territory. When they connected with the O clan's territory, the two sides would form a line of defense. Starter? For this line of defense almost divided the territory of the Golden Flame sect into two halves. The Medicine Valley, the Tai clan of Nanyang City, and the O clan of 8 Li Fort. These three first-class forces occupied almost half of the territory of the Golden Flame sect. Now that the territories of these three forces were connected, the area of the Golden Flame sect was very large. I wonder how the Fire Tiger sect will react next, O Zhentian said. Our actions can't be hidden. Before the Fire Tiger sect has any reaction, the Golden Flame sect will make their move. Whether they want to rope them in or threaten them, the Golden Flame sect won't give the Fire Tiger sect a chance to betray us, Yu Yangyu said. That should be the case. No matter what, as long as the Golden Flame sect touches our territory, we will fight back. When the time comes, Valley Master Lu just needs to send the battle plan to the O clan, O Zhentian said. Rest assured, O clan master. The Medicine Valley will either not accept them or not. As long as the Golden Flame sect touches the O clan's territory, the Medicine Valley will fight back, Yu Yangyu reassured the O clan. Valley Master, the O clan is now at the heart of the struggle. The older generation of the O clan is not afraid of war or death, but the younger generation is not. They are the seed of the fire. The Medicine Valley is safe. Can you let the younger generation of the O clan hide here? This way, we won't have to worry about the consequences when we fight. O Zhentian looked at Yu Yangyu and asked, Great Elder, what do you think? Yu Yangyu looked at the Great Elder. I have no objections. When you come, let's communicate with each other. There were some conflicts during the Venerable One's celebration last time. The younger generation should not take things too hard, the Great Elder said. Then it's settled. In a few days, Elder Shuru will bring the younger generation over. Valley Master and the elders will arrange it. This way, we can rest assured and the Medicine Valley can rest assured, O Zhentian said. O Clan Master, you think too much. Since we are allies, the Medicine Valley will definitely trust the O Clan. After hearing O Zhentian's words, Yu Yangyu said. This was because O Zhentian's words had two meanings. Sending the younger generation of the O clan to rest assured was because they were not afraid that the Venerable One of the Golden Flame sect would go to the O clan's headquarters and kill all of the O clan's disciples. Letting the Medicine Valley rest assured meant that the younger generation of the O clan would be used as hostages. Okay, then we will take our leave. O Zhentian and O Shur left. This meeting was a happy ending for both sides. The Medicine Valley and the O clan both expressed their sincerity. Nominally, they were allies, but the O clan considered themselves as a subordinate force. Since then, the Golden Flame sect's territory had become a situation where the two forces were fighting for hegemony. Night Sorrow stayed on Danding Cliff and worked hard to cultivate, rapidly increasing his cultivation. He wanted to increase his cultivation as much as possible before the alternate space opened because everything in the alternate space was unknown. Towards the unknown, Sikong Chuyu told him to have a reverent heart. Cultivating on Pill Tripod Cliff allowed one's cultivation to improve quickly and steadily. Yi Shang cultivated diligently and tirelessly. This was the treatment that the disciples of the Medicine Valley dreamed of. However, for countless years, no one had been able to do it. After all, it was too difficult to break the record. After cultivating for half a month, Night Sorrow was driven down from Danding Cliff by Elder Su. Elder Su was worried that Night Sorrow would develop a psychological resistance to cultivation after cultivating for a long time. Although he felt that there was no problem, Night Sorrow did not refuse Elder Su's good intentions. After drinking a jar of wine with Elder Su, Night Sorrow left. Night Sorrow planned to pay a visit to Yu Yangyu. After not seeing him for half a month, he wanted to pay his respects. When he arrived in front of Danding Main Hall, Night Sorrow saw the people of the O clan and immediately took out the reincarnation spear from his back. Chapter 271. Genius Remembers Love in 1 Second/Small? We provide you with wonderful novels to read. Seeing Night Sorrow take out his reincarnation spear, the O clan's disciples took a few steps back. One of them, an 18 or 19-year-old youth, stood out and said, "We are O clan's disciples. We came here with our clan's elders. We have no ill intentions." At this moment, the great elder, fourth elder, Lu Qinyun, and O Shi walked out of the Pill Cauldron main hall while chatting and laughing. Fortunately, we came out in time. Otherwise, a fight would have broken out. 13. Quickly put away your weapon. The great elder waved his hand at Night Sorrow. Medicine Valley's Taishin Peak's disciple, Night Sorrow. Last time, during the honored expert celebration, he displayed his invincible might and killed 6 people. I have seen him before. O Shuru said. 13. Let me introduce you. This is O clan's elder O Shu. Also, let me tell you that the sect and the O clan are now allies. In the future, we will be friends, not enemies. The great elder introduced to Night Sorrow. Junior Night Sorrow greets Elder O. Please don't take what happened during the celebration to heart. Night Sorrow cupped his hands at O Shu. Last time, he killed a member of the O clan. I won't. At that time, our standpoints were different. These are the younger generation of our O clan. If they have done anything inappropriate, please don't mind. O Shur looked at Night Sorrow and nodded her head in appreciation. Elder O can rest assured on this point. Great Elder, where is my master? Night Sorrow nodded at O Shuru and asked the Great Elder. Valley Master also needs to cultivate. Therefore, this old man is busy with this and that. The Great Elder said with a smile. Then this disciple will take his leave first. Night Sorrow bowed to the Great Elder and Fourth Elder. He nodded at O Shur, released Tianyu, and left in a flash. This little guy is amazing. O Shuru sighed. Night Sorrow is not bad. Elder Lu, take Elder O to Thousand Water Peak. Great Elder said to Lu Qinyun. The O family had arranged for their core seedlings to stay in the Medicine Valley. The Medicine Valley had also specially allocated Qianshui Peak, which was beside Danding Peak, for them to stay in. Lu Qinyun and O Shuero were in charge of communication between the two parties. After settling down the O family's disciples, Lu Qinyun left. He wanted to inform the disciples of the Medicine Valley about this matter. They shouldn't get into a conflict because they didn't know each other. Today's Night Sorrow drawing his gun was a good example. That youngster even used a weapon against us. Doesn't he just have a slightly better master? A female disciple of the O clan said with some dissatisfaction. Love go little Si, W Chu, be careful with your words, cousin Zijuan. He is very powerful. Not only does he have a good master, but he also killed 6 people in a row on the stage during the Medicine Valley's Prestige Conference. He relied on his true abilities, said the young man who had begun to communicate with Night Sorrow. Cousin Zijing, is he really that powerful? O Zijuan asked. He's invincible among his peers. Don't you think he's powerful? Although you don't like O Bin, you know his strength. At that time, they were at the same level, but O Bin was killed in an instant. The disciples of Nanyang City's Tai family, Flaming Tiger Sect, and Golden Flame Sect's genius Zhan Xie were all killed by him on the stage. Do you think it was luck or coincidence? That was a manifestation of strength and courage. Shuero glared at Zijuan. Elder is right. This disciple has never admired anyone, but he is one. Although he was an opponent at that time, this disciple's blood was boiling. He raised his spear and shouted to the heavens that he would kill whoever came. How domineering was that? Zijing said. Zijing, your vision is indeed not bad. Let's not talk about strength for now. That aura is not something an ordinary person can possess. The most outstanding thing about the disciples of the Medicine Valley is their aura and willpower. The disciples of the Medicine Valley are not afraid of strong enemies. As long as they are provoked, they will fight to the end. The Taishan Peak's disciple, Emochin, pursued his enemy for more than 10 years in order to avenge his junior brother. This is his aura. The disciples of the Medicine Valley have the courage to fight to the end. This is also their aura. This is something that we, the disciples of the O clan, must learn from, Shuero said to the disciples of the O clan. The disciples of the O clan bowed and listened to Shuero's words. The O clan used to be a first-rate force among the subordinate forces of the Golden Flame sect. It had been around for a long time. The O clan's system was very strict. The requirements for the disciples of the O clan were also very strict. Therefore, the disciples of the O clan were not good-for-nothings. They immediately understood. In the future, the O clan and the Medicine Valley will be allies in the same camp. To put it bluntly, without a venerable, our O clan is actually a subordinate force. It's just that the Medicine Valley respects us. Therefore, interacting more with the disciples of the Medicine Valley and becoming friends will only bring us benefits, Shuero said to the disciples of the O clan. Elder, then is it appropriate for us to visit Night Sorrow? Zijing asked. After all, Bin died in the hands of Night Sorrow. Let's not talk about the past. Looking at the future, I won't object to you guys interacting with Night Sorrow, Shuero said. Night Sorrow left Danding Peak and rushed towards Danding City. He hadn't seen Sikong Chuyu and Yang Lei for half a month. He missed them. Tianyu's speed was much faster than before. In less than 4 hours, Night Sorrow returned to the Dragon Spring courtyard. 13, why didn't you break through this time? Seeing that Night Sorrow's cultivation was already at the peak of level 5, Aoi asked. This wasn't Night Sorrow's character. I also wanted to, but I was chased away by Elder Su. He didn't want me to stay up there for too long, Night Sorrow said helplessly. Just accept his good intentions. It's the same if you break through after coming back. The Dragon Spring courtyard can calm your mind and concentrate. It's actually more suitable for breaking through. Yang Lei and Sikong Chu walked out of the hall. I know, that's why I came back, Night Sorrow said with a smile. Hurry up and break through. The matter of the alternate space is a little troublesome, Yang Lei said. What's up with the latest X chapter? Night Sorrow asked. The matter of the alternate space is now a hot topic. Space channels have appeared in the Thunder Rumbling sect and the Holy Light religion. According to the news, the space channel they found is the same as the one we found in the Medicine Valley area. It's full of baleful aura, Yang Lei said. Could it be that there are several more channels in the same space? Night Sorrow frowned. Such a situation was very unfavorable. In other words, after entering the alternate space, there would be many opponents. If that's the case, then it's not a space. It's likely to be a small world, a world that hasn't been explored by humans. It's full of opportunities and also full of crises, Aoi said. Opportunities are medicinal herbs and refining materials. In fact, I don't care much about it. I just want to go in and broaden my horizons, Night Sorrow said with a smile. You're just talking about small opportunities. There are many big opportunities. In such a world, it's most likely that the origin stone will appear. It's the crystallization of the origin energy between heaven and earth, which is of great help to cultivators, Sikong Chuyu said. Chapter 272. A Genius Remembers Love in 1 Second? We provide you with wonderful novels to read. Origin stones don't just contain energy, they also contain attributes, laws, and so on. The most precious origin stones are the cores of spaces or worlds. They are also known as space origin. However, it's difficult to obtain them. This is a book about small spaces and small worlds. Take a look. Aoi took out a book and tossed it to Night Sorrow. Night Sorrow took the book and began to read it. As he read, Night Sorrow gained a better understanding of the unknown space. Space and worlds were created because of the heart of origins, also known as space origins. If the space was large enough, it would be called the heart of the world. The attributes of space and world were also determined by his heart of origin. For example, if it was a space filled with darkness and evil, then its heart of origin could be the heart of darkness. In a world filled with fire and fire-attributed energy, its world core was most likely a fire-attributed world core. It was impossible to obtain such origin stones or world cores. The origin stones of space and worlds were hidden in the depths of a world, but origin stones of other attributes could appear. However, they were incredibly rare, and it was recorded in ancient records that those without great fate would not be able to obtain them. Baidu search AI go female sign Xiao, say, www.taichuxis. The most important function of the origin stone was that it was a medium for venerables to enter the saint realm. After entering the exalt realm, one had to attain the unity of the world and be able to control a portion of the energy of the world. If one wanted to enter the saint realm, then one had to grasp the energy of the laws. It was as difficult as ascending to the heavens for cultivators to enter the venerable realm and reach the state of being one with the world. Not even one out of tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of cultivators could do it. There was no need to mention how difficult it was to enter the saint realm. The energy of the laws was a form of manifestation of the ability of the heaven Tao. Yes, it's good to understand it. Night Sorrow took out his Fey Illustrated Handbook and searched for the Origin Stone's introduction and sketch. The Fey Illustrated Handbook only introduced the Origin Stone's characteristics and didn't have any pictures. It only stated that the Origin Stone contained a very strong origin attribute, and anyone who saw it would naturally recognize it. After returning Gudian to Aoi and putting away the Fey Encyclopedia, Night Sorrow pondered for a moment and felt that all of this was somewhat illusory. After entering this special space, he had to quickly raise his cultivation level to ensure his safety. Night Sorrow knew that his current core condensation realm cultivation base was not enough. After all, there were other forces disciples below the fourth stage. If a peak core condensation realm cultivator went in, it was possible for them to break through. Currently, Night Sorrow could kill early-stage fourth-order cultivators, but that was only for ordinary cultivators. The genius disciples of Holy Light Temple and Thunder Rumbling School were already powerful, so it was not easy to kill them. What are you thinking about? Yang Lei waved her hand in front of Night Sorrow's eyes. First 5 shots. I'm going to break through. Night Sorrow stood up and nodded to Yang Lei, Aoi, and Sikong Chuyu before returning to his room. If everything goes well, 13 might be able to enter the peak of the 7th level of the core formation realm when the sect opens the spatial passage. Yang Lei calculated for a moment and said, "That's right," Yang Lei said after calculating for a while. "That's right." Aoi nodded. There were still nearly 2 months left. After Night Sorrow broke through this time, he would reach the 6th level of core formation. If he went back to Danding Peak to train, it wouldn't be too difficult for him to achieve a level in 2 months. After entering the 7th level of the core condensation realm, eating the Yuan congealing pill would give one the strength of a peak 7th level core condensation realm cultivator. After spending more than half a day, Night Sorrow managed to condense his 6th True Chi Halo, raising his strength to the 6th level of core condensation. Feeling the True Chi in his Dantian, Night Sorrow continued to break through. He wanted to break through the 2nd level of the Myriad Tao Treasured Tome, which was to strengthen the bone marrow of his legs. Thinking of the pain, Night Sorrow shivered. Night Sorrow had already experienced the pain of strengthening his bone marrow, and it was simply unbearable. However, no matter how painful it was, Night Sorrow could not give up on cultivating the Myriad Tao Treasured Tome. While stabilizing the True Chi in his Dantan, Night Sorrow began to break through the myriad Tao treasured tome. The energy entered the bone marrow through his legs, and waves of pain invaded Night Sorrow's mind. Sweat flowed down his forehead, and his body uncontrollably trembled. In order to resist the pain, Night Sorrow clenched his hands, clenched his teeth, and continued to control the energy to enter the bone marrow of his legs. In the middle of the night, Night Sorrow successfully strengthened the bone marrow of his legs. When he stood up, Night Sorrow found that his body was soaked in sweat. Night Sorrow went to the celestial water lake to take a bath. After changing his clothes, he began to practice the killing fist and chasing wind spear technique. The human body was a tree, and the legs were poles. With the poles, it was much easier to exert force. After cultivating for 2 hours, Night Sorrow went back to stabilize his cultivation. After dawn, Night Sorrow went to the dining room. Hai Luo and Luo Wei had already prepared the dishes. Just as Night Sorrow sat down, Aoi, Yang Lei, and Sikong Chuyu came in. Not bad. Core condensation stage is now level 6. You can still advance before the space channel opens. If you advance one more level, you can directly take the Yuan congealing pill. Yang Lei looked at Night Sorrow and said, I have a question that I don't understand. Holy Light Religion and Thunder Rumbling School have found the space channel, but the energy in their newly discovered channel is unstable, so they can't enter it. Why didn't our Medicine Valley enter it in advance? Night Sorrow asked. After the news came from there, Great Elder and Master went to the space channel to check it out. The same thing happened. The energy in the space channel is unstable again, so we can't enter it. We have to wait for the violent energy to stabilize before we can enter. Therefore, there is no opportunity. Yang Lei said, That's good, it also gives me more time. Night Sorrow said with a smile. I estimate that there are not only these few space channels, but also other entrances. Therefore, the competition this time will be very fierce. Sikong Chuyu said with some worry. The competition is nothing. After all, everyone is under the 4th order. Even if there is a gap, the gap won't be too big. The situation inside the space is the hidden danger. Night Sorrow said his own opinion. After chatting with everyone for a while, Night Sorrow went to cultivate. In fact, he planned to go to Danding Cliff, but he didn't want to leave so soon. Therefore, he met with Yang Lei and Sikong Chuyu. Night Sorrow steadily cultivated, but the outside world was bustling with noise and excitement. The forces without a space channel in their territory were very annoyed. This was equivalent to losing an opportunity. Therefore, the forces with a space channel in their territory were preparing. After stabilizing his cultivation for 2 days, Night Sorrow said goodbye to the several women. He wanted to go to Danding Cliff to continue to improve his cultivation. He wanted to reach core condensation stage level 7 as soon as possible. Night Sorrow was 100 miles away from the Dragon Spring courtyard when he was stopped by Yin Shui and a masked woman. Both of them were standing in the air. Seeing this situation, Night Sorrow controlled Tianyu to land. You're tuning in to the Passion Pages YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.